getting you ready for game time. Join me, Sal from Behind the Arc Basketball, as I announce play-by-play. Make sure to smash the like and subscribe, because now we're about to go live. Entering the pregame, we now present Sal from Behind the Arc Basketball. And what's good, everyone? It all comes down to this one tonight. It is the NCAA Division I Men's College Basketball National Championship game to crown the winner of the 2026 NCAA tournaments. The number 2 seed, the UConn Huskies, looking to see if they can put together their third victory for a championship in their last 4 years, while the Michigan Wolverines searching for their first ever NCAA tournament championship since 1989. If you guys are doing the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and make sure to vote in the poll as well. Indianapolis, Indiana, Lucas Oil Stadium, Michigan, a 6.5-point favorite coming into this game, tipping off at around 12 minutes from now. The Wolverines just an absolute wagon throughout the course of the season. They are destroying teams up and down the bracket in the tournament. Very reminiscent from a couple years ago how UConn was shredding teams left and right in the bracket. This is what Michigan has done so far in the tournament, as every single game these posted at least 90 points from Michigan. They had a 101-80 win over Howard in the round of 64. They destroyed St. Louis 95-72 in the second round. That St. Louis team crushed Georgia in the first round matchup. Sweet 16, they beat Alabama 90-77 and then destroyed Tennessee 95-62, coming off a dominant win in what was a 1.5-point spread, an even matchup basically on paper between Michigan and Arizona. Completely took Arizona out of their game as a paint-oriented team, and the defense just locked down Arizona. Adai Mara took off for 26 points, 9 rebounds. Elliot Cadeau had a double-double, racked up 10 total assists, and that was with Yaxel Lendeborg playing fewer minutes than he had previously because he was injured in the first half of action. Good news for Michigan tonight. Yaxel Lendeborg inside the starting 5 for him. Not 100%, but he is playing with a low-grade MCL sprain for Lendeborg. And then on the other side, yesterday it was announced that Solo Ball was injured for UConn. He got injured in the Final Four game against Illinois on Saturday. And Solo Ball dealing with a foot sprain, but looks like he is good to go as well. So a couple of key guys that's going to be going through this game injured tonight in this matchup, but it's the last game of the season. Everything's on the line. The whole country, the whole world paying attention to both of these teams tonight to crown the champion of the 2026 Men's College Basketball Division I National Championship. What's good? Naja Player, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Jake on the stream, welcome back on board. Thanks for joining in, bud. What a journey it has been for UConn, up and down throughout the course of this tournament. Just a miracle for them to get here. They had a sloppy first half against Furman, won against Furman, 82-71. Slow start against UCLA, eventually pulled away, beat UCLA by 16, 73-57. And then a back-and-forth game against Michigan State, ultimately able to pull ahead late, win that game 67-63 in the Sweet 16, and then needed a miracle against Duke. A 19-point blown lead by Duke for UConn to come on back and stun Duke 73-72. Braylon Mullins with the shot heard around the world off the steal, and that gave UConn all the life it could have. And if Danny Hurley, if he leads his team to a championship tonight, he'll be his best head coaching job ever that he has done. And we're looking at GOAT conversation if he does that tonight with like Coach K at the top of the college ranks, because that will be just an incredible feat for Danny Hurley to pull that off tonight, going up against this Michigan squad, which 2 years ago, they were 8-24, bottom of the Big Ten Conference. Just amazing how they built their roster. Their top star player, Yaxel Lendeborg, a transfer from UAB, averaged a double-double last season. They are basically built off the transfer portal. Adai Mara went for 26 points, a 7'3" center. He was the ultimate cheat code in a win over Arizona on Saturday. Adai Mara did not receive much playing time under Mick Cronin at UCLA. And then Elliot Cadeau, he played for UNC. And UNC, their fans didn't want Cadeau back. They touted him, said that he couldn't shoot. Racks up a double-double in the Final Four on Saturday. So this Michigan team, just incredible coaching job that Dusty May has done. He took Florida Atlantic 3 years ago to the Final Four, and look what he's done with Michigan. 2 years after just a mess that was left after they were 8-24 in 2023-24 season, takes them all the way to the national championship game for a team that's been destroying the competition all throughout the course of this season. What's good, Jay Ramirez? Welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Wow, so Haggerty looks like, yeah, he's got UConn at the top. I think a couple people on Michigan. So right now he's leading. He's got UConn at the top. A couple people picked Michigan in the bracket challenge group. Stringer Bell, welcome back in. Yeah, we'll see what happens tonight if Dan Hurley does any headbutting or anything. Michigan 6.5-point favorites tonight on the line in this matchup. Both of the key players for both sides dealing with injuries, Yaxel Lenneborg and then solo ball for UConn. Both of those guys will be playing tonight. So they went through pregame warm-ups. I saw Yaxel Lenneborg was on the starting 5 page on Twitter for Michigan. And solo ball dealing through an injury himself yesterday, which he's one of the key contributors on the team, putting up like 13 points per game. So he's dealing with a foot sprain. Had a walking boot on yesterday. And yeah, according to the college basketball analysts, both of them, there was a starting lineup sheet that was presented at the site. Both of them on the Final Four starting lineup tonight for both sides. Hey, what's good, Jimbo? Welcome back in. Thanks for joining in. Joanne, Daniel, welcome back to the stream. Gonna tip off in basically like any minute from now. If you guys are new to the channel, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit us up. Who you guys got to win this one tonight? Take home the championship. Michigan, UConn. Oh, that's great, Jay Ramirez. This Michigan team just so deep, so much size. I mean, it would be a miracle for UConn to knock off this Michigan team. Michigan would have to get into some severe foul trouble with their guys, but they rotate like crazy. They're one of the top leading assist team in the country. The playmaking is through the roof. And then they're getting production out of other guys like off the bench, like energy-building players like Roddy Gale Jr. throughout this tournament. Like guys that you wouldn't expect to make like a huge impact, and they have really been able to step up for Michigan. Yeah, a lot's going to hinge on Tyrus Reed tonight. It's going to be a tough matchup for him going up against Adai Mara, I feel like. Mara's 7'3". If he's going to have to put Mara into foul trouble for Reed. UConn came out their last game scrappy, physical, hungry. So they've seen 7-footers. They just beat Illinois, which has got a couple 7-foot guys on their team. But yeah, Adai Mara, 7'3", just looks like he's the cheat code on this Michigan team. I can't believe he didn't get any playing time at UCLA. George, welcome back in. Bradley, welcome in. Bradley taking UConn for the upset, 73-64. Yeah, Mike Malone hired today as the new head coach for North Carolina, former Denver Nuggets head coach. Yeah, he's got New England ties. Yeah, Providence assistant, so that was one of the first places he got to start. He grew up in Warwick, so he was a Bishop Hendricken grad. So he grew up in Warwick, went to Bishop Hendricken for high school, and then looks like he played for 2 other high schools. He played for Seton Hall Prep out in New Jersey, then transferred back to Worcester Academy. And Worcester was a Providence assistant for Michael Malone back in the early 90s. And then last was with the Nuggets. He was there with Denver for 10 years, won the championship in 2023. Yeah, that was unfortunate that they had to fire him, but found his way back into the college ranks as a head coach now for UNC. Yeah, good get for North Carolina. A guy that was a coach for over a decade plus at the NBA level. looking for his next head coaching gig, and he had done a lot of like commentator work on the side for ESPN as a free agent going up to this point, and good to see for him. Got a really good hire right there with Michael Malone, NBA champion as a head coach. You couldn't ask for much more out of that. Starting lineups being introduced right now for both of these sides. Michigan, Marez Johnson Jr. Yeah, best of luck there tomorrow for first baseball game, looks like, for Jeffrey. Yeah, Alex Caraban playing his 150th career game tonight. So he is in like rare form. I think only a couple other players did it. Yeah, that came out of nowhere. Kareem won 3 consecutive NCAA championships, 67, 68, and 69 with UCLA, and then all the other players were from UCLA. Henry Bibby, Sidney Wicks, and Curtis Rowe, back from the 60s to the 70s from UCLA. So if UConn wins this game, Alex Caraban would go down as the first non-UCLA player to win 3 championships in college. Just an amazing collegiate career for Alex Caraban. UConn's coming off a game where they shot 12 for 33 from the perimeter. They were cold in the comeback win against Duke. Going to need to drill every single 3 possible in their system to upset this Michigan team tonight. This Michigan team is an absolute wagon. Put up 90-plus points on every single team they played against in the tournaments. Yeah, they look very similar to UConn back in 24 when they were just a buzzsaw through the bracket, destroyed everybody. Yeah, I saw that, Jeffrey. I didn't watch the game yesterday. I was out with family, but I saw the highlights this afternoon. And yeah, I saw that they did an all-female broadcast yesterday. Head coaches have contracts for them, so whatever that contract was for Michael Malone. So Patino just got locked into a contract through 2030 for St. John's. So it's like a salaried position that they have, and then if they're not doing so well, that school can like terminate that head coach. Yeah, that UCLA won the national championship for the women's squad yesterday, and Jaime Hawkins' sister, I heard, played on the UCLA squad. What's good, Ricky in the street? Welcome in. Michael, glad to have you back in. Muhammad, thanks for joining in. If you guys are doing the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'm going to tip off like any minute from now. Michigan, UConn. That poll is pretty close. 54-46. From Michigan in the poll. Just dropped to 52-48. Yaxel Lendeborg getting the start tonight for Michigan. Michigan with the white jerseys, dark blue numbers, dark blue letters, yellow outline. UConn with the dark blue uniforms, white numbers, white letters for the national championship tonight. Lucas Oil Stadium. Here we go. 40 minutes of basketball to crown a champion at midcourt between Adai Mara and Taurus Reed as we are underway. And UConn controls the opening tip. First possession of the night here for the Huskies to begin the 2026 NCAA Tournament Championship game here to crown the winner of March Madness. Silas Demery at the right wing perimeter for UConn. Into the hands to Alex Caravan at the top of the key. Slides it off to Tyrus Reed. Reed dribbles up, drives, works on him. Mara inside the paint, floats to the hook shot. No good off the mark. Mara tips it off to Cadeau for the defensive rebound. Opening possession now for Michigan. Elliot Cadeau coming off a double-double in the blowout win over Arizona in the Final Four. Lenneborg at the top finds Mara. Fires a fastball down low. Johnson off the double team. Missed it off the glass. Pinwheel around. Deflected out of bounds. Broke it up off UConn. It's going to stay Michigan ball. Active there off the glass by Merez Johnson to disrupt that play. And it's going to lead to a Michigan inbound. Lob sent to Mara. Absolute cheat code at 7'3". Handoff Cadeau at the top of the key. Cadeau takes on Demery. 1-on-1. Sends it off to Lenneborg. Lob to Mara. Mara working on Tyrus Reed. Backs his way to the low block. Mara off the pivot. Floats up the shot. Rattled. Out no good. Rebound. Hauled in by Tyrus Reed for UConn. First minute of action scoreless. UConn's defense been a lockdown so far this tournament, coming off a big victory, shutting down the top offense with Illinois in the Final Four. Mullins comes up the screen, pops up for the three. That's way off the mark. Rebound secured by Johnson for Michigan. Michigan with possession number 2 today. Defensive grind to start off in the opening 90 seconds of action. Cadeau at the left wing. Working on Caravan 101 on the top with Mara. 15 on the timer. Back into the hands to Elliot Cadeau. Entry pass lob. Johnson goes up, snags it, puts it up, puts it through. Good for 2. Merez Johnson, first basket off the entry pass. He was double-teamed and able to soar up and put it up and in. Possession number 3 now for UConn. Reed at the top. Mullins slides it off to Demery at the left wing perimeter. Demery working on Amari Burnett. Fires it off towards his right to Mullins. Michigan not giving any sort of opportunity for UConn in this possession. Reed backs his way over Mara, and that's the most space that they had in that possession inside the low post, resulting in a basket score by Tyrus Reed. 2-2, both teams on the board. Top of the key with Lenneborg. Lenneborg off the Mara screen, fires a fastball to Johnson at the wing, outside Mara. Mara, handoff Cadeau. Cadeau dribbles up to the elbow, circles around, drives downhill, bursts the speed right to the cup. He scores with a right-hand layup. Wow, change of tempo right there, just like a flash by Elliot Cadeau inside the post. UConn with possession. Silas Demery at the top, bounce pass into the hands to Solo Ball. Lobs it off to Reed. A Reed off the pivot, put up the shot, no good off the mark, missed the hook, and a rebound secured by Cadeau. Elliot Cadeau right now playing his heart out in the first 2+ minutes of action. He takes on Mullins at the top of the key, towards his right off the dribble. Cadeau, his lob deflected, far side of the floor out of bounds. Last touch by UConn. It's going to stay Michigan ball. 17 minutes left to play. The first 3 minutes of action here. We're just getting started tonight. If you guys are new to the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Pam, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Far side of the floor, Lenneborg, the inbound passer. He sends it off to Mara. Mara around the perimeter, 15 on the timer. Into the hands to Cadeau at the top. Cadeau goes up. Cadeau got fouled. And that's Demery who picks up the personal. And this is going to send Elliot Cadeau here to the free throw line. This is 3 shots at the free throw line. Cadeau pulling up for a jumper from deep behind the arc. Got fouled going up in a jump shot. So tough personal foul there. Charged to UConn on Silas Demery, the first personal of the game. And this is a 3-shot free throw. First one's good. Elliot Cadeau setting the tone so far for Michigan to start tonight. Second free throw is good. Third free throw is good as well. 7-2 right now for Michigan. Yeah, I'm not sure, but it must be a lot that Portnoy put on it. Yeah, he had it from 3 days ago. He put his championship prediction, Michigan versus UConn. Solo ball off the glass and through. What's good? Natso on the stream. Thanks for joining in, liking Hatso, liking Michigan tonight in this game. Off the jump stop, Marez Johnson puts it up. And he gets fouled before the shot motion. So that was off the jump shot before he scored a basket. That's on Solo Ball, who picked up the personal. Yeah, that was not a good game from Arizona. Inbound from Michigan. Lendeborg at the elbow, takes on Caravan, moves it outside to Marez Johnson. Cadeau fires a three, in and out. Offensive rebound, hauled in, they go up. Double clutch, no good. The putback is good by Marez Johnson. Man, Marez Johnson just scrapping the glass right now, hustling for second chancers. 6-1 in the rebound margin in favor of Michigan. UConn was the team that was out hustling Illinois, but tonight it's all Michigan so far. Silas Demery at the top of the key. Drives, dribbles, surges right past Roddy Gale. Blocked from behind by Gale. It's going to stay UConn ball. That's the energy guy right there off the bench from Michigan. First time on the floor, makes an instant impact just like that with Roddy Gale with a rejection. It's going to stay UConn ball. We're going to head to the first media timeout of the night. 9-4, under 16 minutes left to go in the first. Michigan looking good. Michigan just so deep. If you're doing the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Elliot Cadeau out to a tremendous start. 5 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Marez Johnson, 4 points, 2 rebounds. And then Roddy Gale comes off the bench with a huge rejection. UConn 2 points each by Terrace Reed and Solo Ball. It's been difficult for UConn to generate any sort of good looks out there. This Michigan team just a ton of size, a ton of length, and they get right up into the grill of what UConn's trying to do offensively. Michigan's just locking down dudes left and right. Jeffrey, thanks for joining back in from Connecticut. Glad to have you back in, man. Yeah, I'll be going to Connecticut a couple weeks from now. Heading towards Connecticut, coming back from Springfield. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe right now in this timeout. Just incredible what this Michigan team's built of for them this year, and what a turnaround. Head coach Dusty May, 2 years ago before he was named head coach, they went 8-24 overall. Just an absolute mess that he inherited out of a program with a former head coach. Turns it around, and right now playing for a national championship for a team that have been destroying the competition all throughout the course of the season. Like, this Michigan team, back in November, right before Thanksgiving, you could have just handed them the trophy right then and there for Michigan, because based on how they were playing, they were looking like they were going to win the championship. This is what they did in a 3-game stretch back in November. They beat San Diego State 94-54. They beat Auburn when Auburn was ranked 102-72. And then they beat Gonzaga by 40, the number 12 team in the country, 101-61. And then they continued that throughout December. Eventually the conference in the Big Ten caught up to them. But Michigan tonight, playing for their first national championship since 1989, and also playing for the first Big Ten championship as a conference since 2000. Yeah, happy Easter. Hope everybody had a happy Easter out there if you celebrate. And Patrick, welcome back in. William, thanks for joining in. Things going pretty well, man. 2 teams overcame a 19-point deficit in this tournament. And both of those teams that won were against Duke and UNC, the 2 teams that blew that 19-point margin. We get back to action. UConn with a possession. Bounce pass off to Reed at the mid-block. Reed backs his way on Mara inside the key. Reed puts up the left-hand hook, and he gets called in a traveling violation. Turnover by UConn. So Springfield this year is where my sister's barbershop course is competing for the regional competition. It was supposed to be in Cape Cod and Hyannis, but they moved the site because the Hyannis Convention Center did a remodel and turned out to be like a different type of center. Wasn't able to host this time around. Mara, no good off the pivot, missed the shot. Rebound secured by Reed for UConn. Down by 5 for the Huskies. First 5 minutes of action. Silas Demery at the top of the key on the floor alongside Reed, Caravan, Mullins, and Ball. Mullins zigzag towards his right, hand off the solo ball around the perimeter. Solo ball towards his left off the dribble, finds Mullins in the outside. Reed, hand off Mullins, launches the three straight away off the back from no good, tip towards the far side. And out of bounds off Lenneborg, it will stay UConn ball. Yeah, so they're holding the competition this year in Springfield. They the spring April competitions, they usually have held those in Hyannis, but not this year. And then the fall competitions, last year was in Portland, Maine. This year, though, since like Canada is in the region, it's actually in Montreal this year. And then the year after, it's in St. John, NB, which is out of New Brunswick, which is part of the New England region for some reason. For the competition that she's in. Reed inside the low post, bobbled it, lost it. Another turnover by Taris Reed off a double team underneath the net as he lost it off his knee out of bounds. Wow, cold outside in Michigan. Yeah, it's supposed to be cold up here tomorrow. I think like upper 40s for tomorrow. So it's supposed to be nice though over the weekend, like mid 60s. 2 turnovers last 2 possessions. Both of those turnovers by Reed for UConn. You just can't have that going up against Michigan. Margin of error is so small. Michigan bricked the 3 off the rim. Short, no good. So it was misfired. And a 3-point shot taken straight away. That gets zipped in by UConn. That is solo ball. Came into this game with an injury designation for him. With an ankle sprain. And wow, really stepping up right now. Leading scorer for the Huskies. He's got 5 out of the 7. 2-point game all of a sudden. Michigan with a possession. Both of these teams struggling to generate shot making. First time on the floor for Trey McKinney, the freshman from Flint, Michigan. Mara sets the screen for Cadeau. Cadeau on the outside. Cadeau dribbles up, right baseline, circles around inside the key. Backdoor layup, got it to go. And the and one covered up with a free throw line by Elliot Cadeau. That was sweet right there, going in backdoor, swooping through. Very little to do that with room of space as he had to basically walk the tightrope there off the dribble. Went backdoor, bumped into Demery. Able to pick up the shooting fall, and the and one covered up by Cadeau. Elliot Cadeau showed up big time to start off this game for Michigan. Robert, welcome back, and he's got UConn tonight. Yeah, it's supposed to be snow up in New England, up here. Free throw by Cadeau, off the back rim, no good. Rebound secured by Reed. Silas Demery, deep foul trouble so far with 2 quick personal fouls. UConn getting pressure in the backcourt. Jaden Ross able to cross midcourt just in time. First time on the floor tonight from Malachi Smith for the Huskies. Push pass off the ball. Ball dribbles up. Baseline jumper. Rattled out. No good. And it's an over-the-back violation charged to UConn. The ball will go back to Michigan. Yeah, that was very close, too, to being a 10-second call by UConn. $13:09 left to go in the first. If you're trying to watch this game, if you're from the U.S., it's on TBS. So it's on TBS. I believe it's also on True TV and TNT as well. So unfortunately, it's not on CBS this year. CBS and TBS rotate every other year. Mara off the pivot, put up the shot, no good off the back rim. Rebound ripped away by Malachi Smith here out of the pack for UConn. Smith with possession. Hand off to Ross. First time on the floor for number 12 for UConn tonight. That's Eric Ryba. The first year from Hanover, Germany. 7-foot center on the floor with right by Karaban. At the top of the key, he's scoreless so far. Slides it off the ball. 8 on the shot clock. UConn's all the sorts offensively. Karaban sidestep to his left with a 3. It's a laser from the perimeter as he zings it in on the triple. Didn't look like there was much there to begin with, but Alex Karaban off the up fake. Able to sidestep a defender to his left and bury down a humongous 3 for UConn. Mara inside the low post, couldn't finish, but was fouled. And 2 shots here coming up at the line by Adai Mara. Fouls start to pick up for UConn. That's their 5th personal in this first half. Michigan with just 1. 2 personal fouls each by Solo Ball and Silas Demery. And then Terrace Reed with 1. This is going to be off the inbound, so foul picked up before the shot, so no shooting foul. Going to Mara, jumper, missed off the rim, short by Cadeau. Out of the pack, here goes UConn. Up the floor, burst of speed, Ross, blocked from behind by Cadeau. Not clean though, it's rolled a foul. 2 shots here coming up at the free throw line for Jaden Ross for UConn. And a chance right now to take the lead. Closest it's been was 2-2. A tie game, Elliot Cadeau. Tried to come up with a block from behind. He got the backhands of Jaden Ross going up on a slam dunk attempt. Free throws coming up by the Huskies as we're down to under 12 remaining before halftime. Wow, great game we got so far. Nobody able to start to pull away, and that's great that we've been able to get a tremendous matchup here so far. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Ring the notification bell as well if you'd like to be notified here for future live streams on the channel. Hey, appreciate it, Keith. Thanks so much, man. That's good to know. Really appreciate it, brother. Elliot Cadeau, 7 points. Just picked up his first personal foul. He leads the way in this game. Marez Johnson with 4. Only 2 guys have scored so far. Props to UConn's defense, making it tough for Adai Mara. 0 for 3 for the 7'3" big to begin today. Putting up double teams on him, and they're challenging everything right now with physicality by the Huskies. 5 by Solo Ball. He is the top scorer for the Huskies. Came into this game injured tonight. 3 by Caravan. That was a sweet 3 for him off a sidestep. And then Terrace Reed is 2. Just going to avoid foul trouble for UConn. Solo Ball, Silas Demery, each with 2 fouls. And then nobody with 2 from Michigan just yet. Hey, what's good? Mark on the stream, liking UConn tonight. Thanks for joining back in, man. It's turned out to be a defensive game. And that's what UConn wanted to do tonight, was muddy up this game, make it a defensive game, make it a grind. And they've done exactly that. So this style of play, it benefits UConn going up against a team that dropped down 90-plus points in every single game of the tournament. So this is something special for the Huskies right now, that they've been able to be in this game, hang in. They're 2 for 4 from 3. Michigan yet to make a 3 tonight, 0 for 3 from the perimeter. And this Michigan team's been one of the top playmaking teams in the country all season long. They have been moving the ball all throughout the course of the tournament. Right now, UConn bringing their physicality, bringing their size. Yaxel Ledeborg, top player this season from Michigan. No points, no shot attempts in 8 minutes. That's going to have to change. I know he's dealing with an injury, but your best player is going to have to start to get going. Averaging 19 points per game in the tournament, 15 games this season, nothing so far by Ledeborg. Dealing with a MCL sprain coming into this game after suffering that injury in the Final Four. Went to the locker room, got it taped up, got it iced, and then came back for the second half Yeah, Caravan would be the first player to win 3 championships since the 70s with UCLA. So a couple guys at UCLA back in like the late 60s and 70s won titles, but nobody for another program. Like it was all UCLA. UConn split the free throws at the line 11-11. Michigan with possession. McKinney, bounce pass off to Johnson. Marez Johnson takes on the Ryba, backs his way inside the key. Johnson up fake, goes past Ryba, scores up and off the backboard. 13-11 for Michigan. Braylon Mullins on the floor alongside Malachi Smith, Eric Ryba, Alex Caravan, and Jaden Ross. Top of the key with Ryba. Into the hands to Caravan. Caravan looking for an open teammate here. Slides it off towards Smith. 10 on the shot clock for UConn. Malachi Smith dribbles up, drives inside the key. Jumper mid-range off the back rim. Bounces in. Lucky bounce there for UConn by Malachi Smith as we're tied at 13. Michigan 5 on the floor. Yaxel Lendeborg, Trey McKinney. Marez Johnson, Roddy Gale Jr., Elliot Cadeau. Johnson inside the key over Ryba. And Johnson picks up the turnover. So it's a turnover charge to Michigan by Marez Johnson. That's the first turnover of the night there by Michigan tonight. Opens up the door for UConn. UConn yet to lead in this game. Chance to do so right here, right now. Huskies with possession. Top of the key, Malachi Smith comes off the screen. Caravan. That would be incredible if Caravan wins MVP. Closes out his collegiate career. Game number 150 with a championship plus MVP. That would be incredible. I think if UConn wins, you have to look at the overall body of work. That's going to be Terrace Reed most likely unless Caravan goes off. He could tonight. Quarter triple. Zings right through for Alex Caravan. First lead for UConn. Michigan off balance. Lendeborg no good. Putback is good by Marez Johnson. 16-15. What a coaching job right now by Dan Hurley. First 10 minutes of action. A 1-point lead against this Michigan team who has been an absolute wagon in this tournament. UConn lost by just 4 points to Arizona. And Terrace Reed did not play in that game. Top of the key, Ryba. Bobbled by Caravan. They lost it. They turned it over. Third turnover of the night for the Huskies. Cadeau crosses midcourt. Just that national championship game experience that they have for Alex Caravan. That could be so beneficial in this type of environment tonight. McKinney, history left short. Rebound secured by Caravan. They should have went in for the backdoor cutter and scored a dunk. Will Cheddar stopped in the middle of his backdoor cut and decided to pass it back out to the perimeter. Should have just went backdoor cut and jammed it through. They would have had the lead easily there, 17-16. Instead, it is 16-15. UConn with the basketball. Malachi Smith at the top. One-on-one takes on Cadeau around the perimeter. Smith drives up inside the key, weaves his way right to the hole, and he scores with a right-hand layup. Slithery to the cup there by Malachi Smith. 3-point lead for UConn. Lendeborg at the corner. Baseline dribble, bouncing bodies off Jaden Ross, who picks up the reach and foul. Wow, this is just an incredible display of basketball right now for UConn between tremendous balance, dribble drive penetration, and then perimeter shot making led by Alex Caravan. Perfect 2 for 2 in the national championship. Malachi Smith, 4 points off the bench with 2 made field goals. Bench production that they need, and UConn is leading bench points 5-0. Inbound from Michigan. Top of the free throw circle, Lendeborg. Still scoreless. Step back 3 in the air. Off the back rim, no good. Offensive rebound. Controlled by Michigan, though they pushed off. Over the back violation on Michigan. It's going to be UConn ball. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up. Hit the like. Hit the subscribe. Absolutely sensational start here for UConn. UConn is a perfect 6-0 in national championship games. Michigan 0 for 5 from the perimeter to start off tonight. UConn 3 for 6 from 3. Yeah, Karaban's looking really good. What a story it would be if Alex Karaban, game number 150 of his collegiate career, the final game, leads his team to the national championship. Be the first time that a player has done it since UCLA back in the early 70s. The players won 3 championships, and he would be the first ever player to do so that's from a different program. A couple missed shots there by UConn as McKinney hangs up in the air, missed off the mark, no good for Michigan, tipped over to Mullins for the defensive rebound, finds Malachi Smith up the floor. Down to under 8:10 left to go in the opening half of action. 3-point lead for UConn, playing their style, limiting Michigan to just 15 points. Rough field goal shooting percentage for a Michigan team that scored 90 in every single one of their games in the tournament. Reed drives inside the key, working on Mara. Reed up fake, blocked by Mara. Man, Adai Mara, just an absolute statue inside a low post there, just goes up, swats it. Right with Reed, step for step. There goes Mara. Inside the key, receives and then scores. Up and in off the backboard. A 1-point game. Michigan's going to see if they can unlock Adai Mara. First field goal tonight, had a career-high 26 against Arizona on Saturday. Alex Karaban working on Will Cheddar at the wing. Into the hands to Malachi Smith. Back to Karaban. Lobs it off to Reed, top of the key. 8 on the shot clock. Reed. Handoff, dribbling up, runner, no good off the mark, missed by number 3 for the Huskies with Jalen Stewart. Loose ball, Stewart scraps it up, hits the deck, collects the offensive rebound. U20 and the timer here for UConn off that save possession by Jalen Stewart. And the Huskies will burn a timeout. 7 minutes left to go in the first. Or beg my pardon, no. Actually, no, they will not burn a timeout here. Oh, yep, they will. They will. Yeah, I was wondering if it was like a clock reset or something off that initial offensive rebound, but it was UConn timeout. Timeout here by UConn, 18-17. Huskies up by 1. And what a game. Dan Hurley. Incredible start. Going up against a team that just looks like they're Goliath. Running through everybody in this tournament. And here's UConn as the smaller David, trying to pull off a big upset tonight. A 6.5-point dog. 14-6 points in the paint for Michigan, but for UConn, their threes been able to drop 3 times. 2 of those by Karaban. 3 for 8 as a team, 38% for the perimeter. Locking down Michigan for 0 for 5 from 3. And UConn has limited Michigan to only 37% shooting. UConn has been here before, and they know the drill. Alex Karaban, 6 points, perfect 2 for 2 from 3-point range. Solo ball with 5, 4 points, production off the bench by Malachi Smith. Terrace Reed with 2, alongside 4 rebounds. Michigan, led by Marej Johnson with 8 points. Elliot Cadeau with 7. 1 assist by Cadeau. Mara has 1 basket with 2 points. And nothing so far. The Yaxel Lendeborg, only 2 shot attempts, 12 minutes, no points. I mean, he's going to have to get something from Michigan if they're going to win the championship. Man, this is just an incredible display of coaching for UConn tonight. Like, they're making everything physical. They're doubling up Mara inside, making it tough for him to score baskets. This UConn team, they started off 22-1. Only loss was to Arizona by 4 without Terrace Reed. I'm going to dig back into that box score there. Yeah, Terrace Reed didn't play in that game. And they lost by just 4. Yeah, this tournament, like, the big key about this tournament is that, I guess the big takeaway is don't overreact to teams in February. That's the big takeaway, because all the teams that went far they got out to tremendous starts this year for what they did in November, December, and January. And then UConn was one of those teams that they started to trail off a little bit in February. They lost to Creighton, Marquette in the regular season finale, and then lost by 20 to St. John's in the conference championship game. And going into the tournament, there was a lot of concern for UConn, but hope for their team that they could turn it up and go on a run like they're doing right now. And what a start. 18-17 for the Huskies. Hey, we got a dono here. Appreciate the dono for Podunk. Thanks so much. Let's get that dono hype out on the stream. You the legend. Really appreciate it there for the dono. And Dan Hurley right now feeling confident. Dan Hurley got his guys feeling confident. Ready to play, ready to go, ready to compete for the next 7 minutes plus 20 in the second half for the final 27 minutes in regulation in this game. We get back to action. 7 minutes left to go before halftime. UConn with the possession. Smith slides it off to the corner into the hands to Mullins. Mullins turns the corner, drives, runner off the back rim, no good. A rebound secured by Burnett, got tied up with Mullins. Possession arrow goes to Michigan. Gonna love the fight though by UConn. Braylon Mullins missed. Oh, whoa. Beg my pardon. That's not a tie-up. That's a foul. Referees rolled a foul on Dan Hurley with his whole mouth open in the air. Can't believe it. Wow, that clearly is a tie-up. That should be a tie-up. Instead, we get a 1-1 for Michigan. Wow. Dan Hurley cannot believe it right next to the official right now. Braylon Mullins, the hustle to come in. Tie up Burnett with a basketball, but the referees rolled it on Mullins as a personal foul. 1-1 bonus by Namari Burnett from Michigan. That's the 7th foul now charged to UConn. The free throw is good. That's a critical call that didn't go in the Huskies' way. Yeah, this game's been incredible so far. Jen, welcome back in. Second free throw. That is good by Burnett. Michigan takes the lead. Somebody should just have a Dan Hurley cam. Pressure defense in the backcourt here. Displayed by Michigan. Crossing midcourt with UConn. Rebound numbers tied right now. 13 even. That was not how it was starting off this game. Michigan was hungry to begin. They were up 6-1 on the glass in the first 3 minutes. UConn with possession. Trailing by 1. Malachi Smith, bounce pass off the Caravan. Perfect from the floor. Huge rejection off a volleyball swat all the way to the backcourt by Michigan. Wasn't clean though, rolled a shooting foul. So Caravan got denied by Mara. Yeah, Caravan, did he... Wow, that looked clean on instant launch. Oh, yeah, that looks totally clean there. Wow, so they got shooting foul charged to Michigan. First one is good by Caravan. There was a little bit of a bump from behind. That's on Cadeau. Yeah, so that's where the foul committed. It was not Mara. Mara, that was a clean block in front. It was from behind by Cadeau, who picked up the foul. So that's where the foul occurred, was from behind. Caravan going up into the shot motion. Free throws were good. 20-19. Cadeau just picked up his second personal foul. First player to get into deep foul trouble tonight for Michigan as Lendeborg attacks the paint. And UConn picks up their 8th personal. So all of a sudden, this game started to get choppy all of a sudden. So back to the free throw line. 1-1 bonus from Michigan. Yeah, a couple questionable calls last minute or so. If you guys are new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Lendeborg yet to score, and he finally does. First free throw is good. Second free throw by Lendeborg is good. 21-20 Michigan, 6:17 left to go in the first. Pressure defense in the backcourt. UConn bobbles it. Gonna have to cross the timeline in time. They do. Within 8 seconds. Quarter 3. Mullins rattles it in. UConn takes the lead right back. You came on the full court pressure by UConn. Calm and composed, able to break it. Taking up 8 seconds out of their time. Burnett, his 3 missed off the rim, short, tipped up in the air. Rebound secured by Caravan. UConn by 2 with the basketball. They're going to slow it down. That's the Huskies' goal. Drag out this game as much as possible. Slow down possessions, limit Michigan. They've done exactly that in the first half. Dan Hurley said that was the goal in the pregame. And it's been propelled by their defense. Malachi Smith at the top of the key. Dribbles up to the elbow. Smith slipped off the dribble. Lost it. Got it back. Smith off the spin. Outside finds Reed on the 3 straightaway. Not the shooter. Mullins battle for the rebound. Collects the offensive rebound. New 20 in the shot clock. Mullins. Lob pass. Reed down low. Floats it up. No good off the mark. And the rebound secured by Burnett. That was a crazy possession all around by UConn. Lenneborg hits the deck inside the key, gets tied up. It's going to stay Michigan possession. Wow, that would have been insane if UConn scored in their previous possession, because that was just, nothing was there all throughout. It was just straight up hustle, but nothing able to get generated that was quality in terms of looks. And Lenneborg got tied up on the opposite end. So Michigan is going to have an inbound coming up. Just about 5 minutes left to go. Right now before halftime. Inbound goes to Lenneborg and the outside. Pull-up jumper, no good off the back rim. Missed by Michigan. And we have a foul on the rebound. It's charged to UConn. Free throws coming up. 1-and-1 bonus by Michigan. Yeah, a couple of tough calls going against UConn. Michigan has yet to make a 3 tonight. They're averaging over 11 made threes in the tournament. Yeah, this game playing out in the way for UConn right now. James, welcome in. Liking UConn to win the chip tonight. Well, what a start for UConn. They are perfect in national championship games. Just something magical about this program in March Madness. First free throw is good by Michigan by Roddy Gale Jr. Michigan just 1-6 in national championship games, looking for their second championship and their first one since 1989. Both the free throws good. 9 for 10 at the free throw line for Michigan. UConn 3 for 4 currently. Malachi Smith on the floor alongside Jaden Ross, Taris Reed, Alex Caravan, who comes off the screen, receives it. Braylon Mullins, 5th player on the floor. Smith sends it off to Mullins, 8 in the shot clock, dribbles towards his left, jumper, 18-footer, straight away off the back rim, no good. Offensive rebound, right back to Smith. Caravan, shovel pass down low. Reed, turn around, huge rejection by Maris. He swats it out of bounds. It was not clean, though. It's going to be over the cylinders, a goaltend. Yeah, so that had enough on it to be over the cylinder there to contend as a goaltend, so award a 2 for Taris Reed. 25-23 UConn. Got some big-time blocks in this game that haven't been statted as blocks. That's the first goaltend violation in the night. Down low, Gale, backdoor layup, missed off the mark. Caravan collects the defensive rebound. And now UConn will just keep on drawing out this game by slowing down the possessions. 9 for 24 shooting by UConn. Michigan 7 for 22. Both teams low percentage. 38% UConn, 32% by Michigan. Just a defensive clinic in this first half with the Huskies. Smith, pocket pass. Turnover on UConn. That's an offensive foul, their 10th. That's their 10th of the first half for fouls. An illegal screen set by Taris Reed. And now Reed in a little bit of foul trouble. We're going to take the media break. 3:58 left to go before halftime. Highly entertaining game here, national championship. And I am glad that we're getting this type of game tonight compared to what we were seeing in the Final Four. 2 games that weren't really that close. Though Illinois, UConn started to become close late. Wow, just one heck of a coaching display so far by Dan Hurley. Hey, what's good? Ward on the street. Welcome in, man. This would be huge for UConn to keep their perfect national championship streak alive for them if they come out and win this one. Because people on Twitter today were posting, before Michigan won the championship, they were posting, who would you take? This Michigan team or the Washington Wizards? That's what people put out there today on Twitter. And there's still a championship game that has to be played. Obviously, this Michigan team has been just absolutely dominant in the tournament, but you got to finish the deal. You just can't win 5 games by mega margins, and then the 6th game you completely flame out and get locked up and can't produce, and that's what's happening right now. Yeah, UConn would be perfect 7-0, going for their 7th national championship tonight. UCLA at the top of the 11 right now. UConn is tied with UNC for 6. That makes the pain factor even further there for UNC. Kentucky with 8. So if UConn does win tonight, they will move into 3rd place all time, most championships as a program. And what's incredible is that all those championships would be within basically like a 28-year span. Almost, yeah, 27-year span. 1999, 2004, 2011, 2014. And then 3 out of the last 4, 23, 24. And then if they do win 26 tonight. Yeah, UConn's the team that's hitting more threes. 4 for 10 from 3. Michigan yet to show up, 0 for 7. That's been like the determining factor throughout all these tournament games, is that if you're just not hitting threes, they're going to get bounced out. Unless you're UConn in the Elite 8 or Illinois in the Elite 8, which just smashed Iowa on the glass. And then Duke, with some awful turnovers, allowed UConn to rack up tons of points off turnovers. And yeah, UConn did not shoot the ball well against Duke in the Elite 8 and still won because of too many rookie mistakes by Duke. UConn's missed their last 8 out of 10 field goal attempts, though. Michigan has missed their last 6 out of 7. It's been a brick fest style play. Benefits UConn. Not so much in the foul numbers, though. 10 personal fouls as a team by UConn. They have 3 players each with 2, and one of them is Terrace Reed. Terrace Reed, 2 fouls. Silas Demery with 2. Solo Ball with 2. Michigan on a field goal shooting drought of almost 4 minutes, as we're down to 3:45 left to go before half. Michigan with possession. Lenneborg off to Mara. Mara at the elbow. Backs his way in. Ryba at the mid-block. Shovels it on top. Roddy Gale drives inside the key over Mullins. Blocked by Mullins. UConn now with a possession. Braylon Mullins sprints up the floor. Finds Caravan. Steps into a 3. Off the mark. No good. Rebound secured by McKinney for Michigan. That was a really good look right there, though. Confident on that stroke. Just couldn't hit it. Lenneborg, his 3 around the rim and out. And another foul charge to UConn on the glass. So this sends Michigan now off to the double bonus, and Dan Hurley cannot believe it. Oh man, he's got hands behind the back of his head in disbelief. Hands behind the back of his head, disbelief for Dan Hurley. John Wooden won 10 championships, 1964 to 1975. 10 championships in basically an 11-year period. Just crushing with these fouls. Best of luck there for Ward. Yeah, only thing that's stopping them is the foul trouble. But I do like that for UConn to win over 2.5. This Michigan team is struggling to generate any quality looks. And Lenneborg has been a non-factor. This is under review right now for this foul call. Lenneborg's been a non-factor. 2 points, both to the free throw line. Just not aggressive. 0 for 3. You can see he's clearly bothered by his injury. He's dealing with an MCL sprain for Lenneborg. It's a big call right now. It is under review at the monitor. Yeah, this is kind of similar to UConn Duke with the fouls in the first half. UConn was racking up like a bunch of fouls in half one. And then second half, it was the opposite. Man, Caravan's just trying to box out Marez Johnson. And they rolled it on Caravan. So this is going to be free throws here coming up from Michigan. Double bonus. Yeah, that's just tough. Some tough calls going against UConn so far. First free throw, good by Johnson. Second free throw is good. First time all transfer starting 5 in national championship game history. Yeah, Mara barely got any playing time at UCLA. Lenneborg came from UAB and Michigan. Wow, so they get Michigan off the inbound as well. Michigan gets the inbound lob inside. Lenneborg off the glass scores. And Michigan takes the lead right back. That's just a critical call right there by the officials. The fall in Caravan, the 2 free throws, and plus the basketball back for Michigan as well. Michigan up plus 8 points in the paint, 16-8. Caravan comes off the screen, launches the 3 off the mark, no good. Michigan controls the defensive rebound. This looks like this could be the part of the game where Michigan starts to rise. Lenneborg has found 1 field goal. Lob to Mara, rolling down low block. Mara takes on Riba, backs his way inside the key. Mara off the pivot, puts it up with a left hand. And he looks like Victor Wembanyama on the floor. Towering over everybody else. Just puts it up with a left hand. Scores rather easily. Timeout by UConn. 29-25. 2:24 left to go before halftime. Yeah, guy's a cheat code. Mara. Smart timeout there by Dan Hurley. Because you could clearly see the whole momentum shift in the favor of Michigan. Hey, what's good? Joe in the stream. He's liking Michigan tonight. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. That was a big sequence there. 2 free throws. And then they get the basketball back. UConn couldn't make the 3 with Caravan, and then Mara scores the layup. Yeah, it was a great start for Caravan, but all of a sudden, he's missed the last couple threes. So 2 for 2 to begin, 0 for 2 in the last 2. Yeah, this Mara guy just an absolute tower. They have found something with him on that last possession. They put a 7'1" guy defending him, Eric Riba, and he couldn't contain him. Like Mara with tremendous footwork. Yeah, Mike Malone, former Denver Nuggets head coach, now with UNC. Yeah, UConn has to watch out for foul trouble. Terrace Reed, 2 personal fouls. Silas Demery with 2. A solo ball has 2. The solo ball was coming in, injury designation. And he'd been playing really well tonight. Elliot Cadeau, 2 personal fouls for Michigan. Everybody else with 1 or 0. A big difference between foul numbers. 11 by UConn, 4 by Michigan. Just a lot of tough calls going against the Huskies. UConn up in the poll. Make sure to vote in the poll. Right now, UConn leads 55-45. And Warren's liking Michigan as well. We got 2:24 left to go before half. Yeah, it was Mara with the entry pass lob to Lendeborg, and then a dime Mara off the pivot. Got around Ryba, scored at a low block, and now this Michigan team started to roll. Yeah, Celtics look really good. Tons of depth, tons of balance. I'm excited to see what the Celtics do in the playoffs. Inbound for UConn coming back from the timeout. Solo ball back on the floor for the Huskies. Both teams are 9 for 26, shooting at 35%. Smith on top, finds ball, launches the 3 straight away, got it. That's a humongous 3 by Solo ball. He's got 8. Down to 2 minutes left to go before halftime. Trey McKinney on the floor alongside Adai Mara, Roddy Gale Jr., Yaxel Lendeborg, Marez Johnson. Lob sent to Mara, takes on Reed, backs his way at the low block. Mara off the pivot, puts up the shot with a left hand and bounces in. Just an ultimate cheat code right now for Adai Mara. They have found his spots on the floor back to back. At the low block, finishing for Adai Mara off the pivot. Points in the paint in favor of Michigan, 20-8. Caravan on top to Malachi Smith on the floor alongside solo ball Braylon Mullins and Terrace Reed. Smith, 10 on the shot clock. Step back 3 in the air. No good, missed it poorly. A rebound, a battle for it. Reed scoops it up. Flings it off the Caravan corner. 3 off the mark, no good. Rebound secured by Mara. UConn's trying to make it as physical as possible. Michigan gets up the floor. Lendeborg backs his way on Mullen. Shovels out to the wing into the hands to McKinney. McKinney, jumper, deep 2 in a rainbow. Left off the rim short. Terrace Reed controls the defensive rebound. UConn in the final minute left to go. Down by 3. Malachi Smith at the left wing perimeter. Sends it outside to Mullins. Edge of the men's Final Four logo in Indianapolis. Braylon Mullins, 45 seconds left to go before halftime. Outside off the solo ball. Push past the wing. Mullins searches up. Attacks the paint. High off the glass. No good. Rebound secured by McKinney. He pushes it up the floor. Lendeborg, one defender to beat as he puts it up over a ball. No good. Huge putback slam by Roddy Gale Jr. on a poster sword up. And flying in with a 2-handed flush. 5-point lead for Michigan. Roddy Gale Jr., an energy builder for the Wolverines. 15 seconds left to go before halftime. UConn with the basketball. Malachi Smith, top of the key. Final seconds left to go. Pocket pass. Reed rolls down, goes up, and no good. Missed the layup. Late whistle was fouled with 2.6. Terrace Reed's going to have 2 free throws coming up here at the line. For UConn, I believe. Yeah, that clock was rolling for quite a bit of time. Yeah, Roddy Gale, huge putback jam. Yep, Terrace Reed's going to have 2 shots here at the free throw line. First one, no good. Missed off the rim shorts. That's a crusher. Got to make that free throw right there. What a first half, though. Tarris Reed's going to have one more free throw coming up here at the line. Just 4 points in the opening half for him. He's been the start of tournament for UConn. Tough matchup going up against a guy like a Daimar at 7'3". Second free throw by Reed, and that's good. Lenneborg picked up his second personal off that last foul. 2.6 seconds remaining before halftime. 33-29. Michigan will have to go the length of the floor. And Tarris Reed will check out. He'll get an early start back to the locker room with those 2 personal fouls. Cadeau floats to the shot at midcourt. No good. It's an air ball. We close out at the end of the first half of action. 33-29. Michigan by 4. Through one half tonight, a tremendous start to this game as we enter halftime. Dusty May was looking for the foul. Elliot Cadeau at midcourt off the drive was bumped into by Eric Ryba, trying to get a shot off and couldn't do so. That could have easily been called a foul. But the referees let UConn get away with it, and Dusty May was looking for the foul call, couldn't get it. That's huge for UConn. 33-29, UConn gets the defensive stop, air ball by Cadeau at the buzzer, 4-point game going into halftime. That's a huge no call for UConn. We'll see if that does happen to be a difference maker later on throughout the course of this game tonight. Alright, if you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Yeah, Mr. Top's been doing pretty well, Jake. Make sure to vote in the poll as well. Right now, UConn up in the poll, 54-46 going into half. Alex Caravan, 2 quick threes. He's got 8 points, 4 rebounds. Missed the previous 3 3-point shot attempts, though. He's had the open looks, just haven't been able to knock them down. Solo ball. A huge 8 points for him. Came into this game with an injury designation, with an ankle sprain for Solo ball. But right now, he is tied with Caravan for the team's leading scorer. Tarris Reed limited to 5. 6 rebounds, though, in the first half. Braylon Mullins with just 3 on 1 for 7 shooting. Having a tough time generating any sort of quality looks out there. Off the bench, Malachi Smith, 4 critical points. Jaden Ross with a free throw. From Michigan, Marej Johnson has been scrappy in the glass. A couple putback opportunities for him. Second chancers. 10 points by Marej Johnson. Difference maker in this game. Elliot Cadeau got out to a great start. First couple minutes. Hasn't done much ever since, though. 7 points by Cadeau. Just 1 assist tonight. Adai Mara. He's the guy who's been torching UConn last couple minutes going into half. 6 points by Adai Mara, back-to-back buckets in the final few minutes left to go before halftime. Lenneborg's got 4. He's made 1 field goal. Unaggressive start for him, though, just those 4 points, and took him a while to get that first made field goal. Nabari Burnett with 2 off the bench. Roddy Gale, an energy builder guy, had that poster dunk off a putback. He's got 4 points, and both of those electric buckets. And right now, that proves to be the difference maker in this game, a 4-point margin for Michigan. Yeah, so huge foul discrepancy in the first half. UConn had 11 total fouls. 2 personal fouls each by Tarris Reed, Braylon Mullen, Tarris Reed had 2, Silas Demery had 2, and Solo Ball had 2. And then 5 personal fouls as a team from Michigan. That's a 6. The foul differential 6 in the first half, and 2 personal fouls each by Lenneborg and Cadeau for Michigan. Hey, what's good? Alan on the stream, welcome in. Patel, welcome in. Going into this one, I thought it would be Michigan based on how they've been playing, been destroying everybody in the brackets, but I mean, it would be an incredible story if UConn wins with Alex Caravan. This is career game 150 for him, and he'd be the first player, other than a couple of guys from UCLA, to win 3 college championships. The first non-UCLA player to win 3 national championships, which would be pretty cool. Yeah, UConn needs another player. Michigan seems like they started to find their groove a little bit, pounding it down low in Mara. So that's a matchup nightmare. They were doubling up Mara early on, but they started to go one-on-one with Mara. And that's where he's taken advantage of his matchups. Yeah, I just want it to be a more fairer battle. I feel for UConn right now. They've got some fouls going well against them for UConn, and Michigan wasn't a double bonus for a little bit in that first half. Yes, Jeffrey, I plan on doing the NBA playoff games. Yeah, if you guys enjoy the NBA, I plan on covering the NBA playoff games throughout the next couple months, so feel free to keep on coming back. This is going to be my only live stream for the week. I'll be out. Really busy week. Rest of the week, I have men's volleyball Wednesday night. This past Thursday, I was actually honored, got an award for the Golden Mike Award for men's volleyball, the first ever season for one of the college teams that I cover. It was their inaugural season, and I was the broadcaster for a bunch of their games. So all the family members, the volleyball team, gave me the Golden Mike Award last Thursday night, which was pretty cool. They have their regular season finale coming up on Wednesday, and then, yeah, I got a busy week. I got 15 games, 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Water Polo Conference Championships for D3. So that's my weekend. So I won't have any more streams coming up this week, since I've got the D3 College Water Polo Championships coming up this weekend. Yeah, crazy prep to do the prep work for that. Trying to figure out, like, it's got 9 teams that I have to cover. So the college that I broadcast for D3, it's Wheaton College, Mass. And they're hosting Connecticut College, the Camels. That's one of the teams in the water polo tournaments. There's a bunch of schools from Pennsylvania. Penn State, Brand, Grove City, Washington and Jefferson. A couple of teams out in like the Midwest. There's Augustana, Illinois. There's a team from Texas, Austin College, Carthage College, Wisconsin. Yeah, there's 9 different schools. McAllister from Minnesota is in there too. I think I got like basically all of them that's supposed to be there. Yeah, it's tons of prep work. I've only done the roster so far. I haven't gotten into like any of the team stats or anything. But yeah, if you guys enjoy NBA, feel free to keep on coming back for the future. Yeah, Wheaton, Penn State, Brand, McAllister, Connecticut College, Washington and Jefferson, Grove City College, Carthage College, Austin College. Augustana College is the 1 seed, so there's, 9 teams. Last year I did the big teams up at Brown, so I had Michigan last year, which is in Brown's conference for water polo, and Indiana is not in the same conference as Michigan for water polo. So in Brown's conference is the 3 Ivies with Brown, Princeton, and Harvard, which all of them are really good. They're like top. Brown's like ranked around 20th. Princeton's ranked around 12th. Harvard's ranked around 10th. Michigan is ranked around 12th as well, like around that like 10 to 15 ranking. And they're in Brown's conference. And then a couple other teams that's like not non-full-time that played in that same conference was Mercyhurst from Erie, PA. and Bucknell. They're from Pennsylvania. Patriot League for them for full-time, but water polo played with Harvard, Princeton, Brown. And then, St. Francis, Pennsylvania, which they're going to D3 next year. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Just like the Hartford from a few years back. The school I actually graduated from, Curry, in the Blue Hills in Mass. They're in the same conference as Hartford, which just transitioned a few years back from D1 to D3. And they play in like a big 3,000, 4,000 capacity arena. So their arenas used to be packed at the D1 level, and now it's sad that they had a transition for them. Yeah, St. Francis transitioning from D1 to D3. Big reason why Chicago State, they joined the NEC instead of joining the Horizon. That completely threw off the balance of the NEC. And then another team that they work with, Stonehill. So Stonehill is the easternmost team in the NEC. And then Chicago State comes in. And what in the world's the NEC anymore? Like, they come in, might as well make it the Midwest NEC when a team like Chicago State enters the conference. And then the MEAC merged with the NEC for baseball. So St. Francis was having to travel to play teams like Delaware State and Maryland Eastern Shore and Howard for baseball. It just made zero sense for them to continue on the lack of budget that they had, because they're like out in the middle of Pennsylvania, so they were struggling financially, and they had to drop down from D1 to D3. And I think they're playing in like a majority of the teams are from Pennsylvania, and the President's Athletic Conference for them. Yeah, it's all about NIL right now. So all these big schools are flourishing. The smaller schools, like I talked about, Hartford Hartford and St. Francis, those two schools dropping to D3. Yeah, it's going to be tough for some of these mid-majors to keep up. There's been a couple new mid-majors this decade that's popped in. New Haven recently popped in the first-year program. I think West Georgia is a new program too. And then Stonehill was new, I think, in their third year. Mercyhurst, Lemoyne, those two teams are like newer in their second year. But yeah, there's some of the schools that smaller teams been around but struggling with like the travel schedule and everything just to keep up. Like LIU Brooklyn, they merged into LIU. LIU Brooklyn, LIU Post merged into one a few years back because they just couldn't keep up. So I think there were two LIUs, the Blackbirds, and they just merged into the Sharks. Yeah, big free throw discrepancy in the first half. Michigan 11 for 12, UConn 4 for 6. Points in the paint 22-8. That's just a tough matchup for UConn going up against the Daimar. That's the guy who they're going to have to key in on. Second half, they were putting up double teams against Mara. And it locked them down in like the first half of the first half. But then after that, Mara started to go on one-on-one matchups, took on Ryba, took on Reed. And he was just able to score off both of those matchups with excellent footwork. Yeah, it seems like it's basically impossible. So whoever has the most points with like the fewest misses of missed picks wins the bracket challenge. So yeah, it's got to be somebody who has only, out of every single game of the tournament, probably has like only 3 or 4 games picked wrong throughout the entire tournament, most likely. Wow, so you're in the 99.9 percentile, but 223,000. Wow. Huh. Yeah, that's a huge number of brackets. Yeah, so I don't know how many picks you got wrong or so, like 9 or 10 throughout the entire tournament, but there must be the people at the top have those people must have like 2 or 3 wrong picks for games and that's it. And they picked everything else correctly. UConn's hung in by the 3 ball. They're 5 for 15 from 3. Michigan yet to drill a 3 in this game, 0 for 8. They're just eating in the paint though. Like, they've missed their 3s, and now they're starting to go to Mara, and Mara's started to dominate a little bit. At least 10 wrong, yeah. Yeah, it's got to be people that have like 3 or 4. Yeah, I did that tournament challenge eliminator that they had on ESPN. I started off at 5-0, and then I think it was the Iowa State pick that I got wrong against Tennessee. Yeah, that was the one that got me wrong and eliminated. At that point, it was only 17% of people left. They had 83% eliminated during that time. Hey, what's good? Derby City, welcome in. Thanks so much. Thanks for the sub, Jeremy. Really appreciate it, bud. If you guys are new to the channel, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I also cover NBA, play-by-play. I'm a Celtics fan myself. So I'm hoping to cover the NBA playoff games coming up, too. I actually don't think I can cover any of the play-in tournament games this year because I actually don't have Amazon Prime. I believe all those games are on Amazon Prime this year, so I'm probably just gonna take that week off because it's not even worth it to pay for the subscription for Amazon Prime, just for like a week of games like that. That's not even worth it. It's just crazy with all the streaming companies nowadays. Like what's going on? Like you have to watch on like a gazillion different channels in the whole sports media agreement. But I do like NBC and their coverage this year. Like I'm excited to see their playoff coverage for NBC. That's going to be terrific. Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I didn't see that game. But yeah, that sounds like it's wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I covered Vandy, Nebraska in the tournament, and that was heartbreak for Vandy. I mean, that was halfway down. Second half should be starting in like any minute from now. Yeah, Michigan lost to Wisconsin. So that was their first loss. Yep, that's the one. Yep, I covered that game. That was insane. Yeah, that was just an amazing comeback by Nebraska. Yeah, people were saying that on the chat. It was all red in the crowd. That was a home game for them. Yeah, I'm glad that this game is close. The Final Fours were not that enjoyable to cover, especially that second one. Arizona was a mess in that second one. Oh, man. It's too bad. The whole Mark Few, Tommy Lloyd, head coaching tree. Those poor guys. Man, I remember that national championship game, the year coming out of COVID. There was so much hype about it too. It was basically even on the line between Baylor and Gonzaga, and the Zags got completely destroyed. And then Arizona, same case Saturday, just didn't show up. Yeah, I was not expecting that. People were comparing it as a heavyweight matchup. For Arizona, what wrecked them is that they never attempted many threes to begin with this year. They never had to rely on the three-point shot. They were all about points in the paint and getting to the rim, and Michigan put a complete stop to that with their size and their length. So Arizona panicked, and they started to take shots that were foreign to them from the outside, and they were bricking those shots. Yeah, Michigan's yet to make a three so far. They're just packing it in the paint, and they found a Mara. He's been able to score a couple buckets going into the half. And if you have a matched up one-on-one, then that's just danger waiting to happen. UConn's going to have to go back to doubling him up. The thing is that Michigan's three is eventually going to probably start to drop. And when you double him, the ball is going to be moving around the perimeter. So it all depends on if their threes can start to drop or not. Michigan, 22-8 points in the paint in the first half. Woof, 2-8 right now for the Red Sox. Yikes. Yeah, rough start. First 10 games of the season, and already a week and a half in, and the season's basically over. It looks like, unless they turn it around. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. We're about to get ready for the second half of action. Alex Karaban looking to become the first player in NCAA championship history to win his third national championship, being outside of any other player that's won it, which was from UCLA. So he would be the first non-UCLA player to win 3 championships at the collegiate level for Division I if UConn comes back and wins this game. They're winning 4 right now. This has been one heck of a battle. Props out to UConn's defense, Dan Hurley, for keeping them hanging in the game, just wrecking them with 11 personal fouls. A lot of tough calls going against their way in that first half. They had the same case against Duke. Double-digit personal fouls in the first half against Duke. And the Elite Eight, trailed by 19, came back and won. This UConn team's been resilient all season long. Going to have to flip the foul trouble in their favor at half 2 and put Michigan in much deeper foul trouble. Michigan 11 for 14 inside the paint. Outside the paint, they've yet to hit anything. 0 for 16 from the perimeter so far for Michigan. Yeah, Yaxel Lenneborg's not aggressive and clearly looks like he's struggling to be his usual self. Here we go, second half of action as we begin. A left to right on the floor for Michigan, a right to left for UConn. UConn with the opening possession to begin half 2 of action. Braylon Mullins on the floor alongside Silas Demery, Tarris Reed, Alex Karaban, and Solo Ball. Imagine mid-court logo for Demery. Yes, he is guarded by Lendeborg around the perimeter off the screen set by Reed. Outside ball, rise and fire on the 3. No good off the mark. Mara controls the defensive rebound. Mara outlet pass up the floor, and Namari Burnett soars up, and he gets fouled from behind by Ball. Third personal foul now. Charge the Solo Ball. 2 free throws coming up here at the line for Namari Burnett from Michigan. Wow, that's incredible vision. Mara, 7-3, chucks up a fastball full court up the floor. Out to the lead player ahead of the pack with Burnett, who drew the shooting foul. That's an insane pass off an outlet. 2 shots here coming up at the line by Burnett. First one's good. Dan Hurley just trying to crack the code on how to stop this Michigan team. Talking to his assistant right now, who recently took the Boston College job as the new head coach starting off next season. Second free throw is good. 35-29. UConn with possession. Solo ball with his third personal foul. Huskies edge in the midcourt logo. Bounce pass into the hands to Caravan at the wing. Takes on Burnett. On top off to Demery. Demery, bounce pass, low block inside to Reed. Reed no good, left is short. Offensive rebound, putbacks there for two. Able to outmuscle Mara for the offensive board, putback. 35-31, that's a huge 2 points there by Terrace. Reed up to 7. First minute of action here to begin the second. Michigan with possession. The lob sent to the mid-block. Into the hands to Mara. Brings along the double. Kick out wing Cadeau. Extra pass Burnett. Top of the key into the hands to Lenneborg. Lob to Mara. Mara. He got stripped. And loose ball here on a bounce. It's off Michigan by Johnson. It's going to be UConn ball. It's a huge defensive stop there for the Huskies. Scrappy. That's the first turnover since the 8-minute and 48 mark remaining in the first half. That's a huge forced turnover there by UConn's defense. 4 turnovers by the Huskies tonight. Michigan just committed their third. UConn down by 4 with possession. Demery past the timeline. Off the ball, Lobson on top. Reed, a bad pass. It's a turnover. You can't have that. Dan Hurley, can't believe it. No time for that. 5th turnover tonight. They had just 4 in the final 4 against Illinois for UConn. You can't have a turnover that bad. Terrace Reed just flung it outside to the edge of the perimeter. Nobody else was there. Sailed right into the front row of the seats. Burnett, corner, 3. No good off the front rim. Rebound secured by Reed. UConn with the ball, down by 4. Silas Demery off the screen set by Reed. Towards his left off the dribble. Michigan made 10-plus threes in all previous 5 NCAA tournament games. They have yet to make a 3 tonight. Despite that, up by 4 on an 0 for 9 from the perimeter. Reed at the top. Dribbles up. Working on Mara at the mid-block outside of Demery. 6 in the timer. Lob pass broken up. Intercepted by Lenneborg with a steal. Back-to-back turnovers by the Huskies. Elliot Cadeau at the top. Somebody is going to have to make a shot as Johnson gets bumped into and fouled. The clock will stop with 17:40. This game has been just ugly in terms of offensive production. I'm kind of shocked to see that we're in the 30s. Right now, yeah, it's starting to get choppy. UConn with the first 2 fouls to begin this half. Lob over the top. Johnson blocked going up as Caravan comes away with the basketball. Excellent defense there by UConn. Back on the floor, number 0. Malachi Smith for the Huskies. Finds ball straight away. 3. No good off the back rim. A rebound secured by Mara. 7'3". That size advantage just too tall to contend with on the glass. Missed the layup off the glass by Michigan. Out of the pack. Here goes UConn. Smith on top finds Caravan. Up fake Caravan. Back into the hands to Malachi Smith. As we approach the 17-minute mark left to go. Jump stop in the key. Ball stripped. Turns it over once again. Oh, man. We get a plethora of turnovers here by UConn to begin the second half. Baseline dribble. Tiptoe to the baseline. Out of bounds. Went off of Burnett. It's a Michigan turnover. Oh, jeez. Both of these teams struggling right now to generate any sort of offense. Turnovers. Who is going to want it more tonight in the national championship? If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Sloppy. Combined 6 turnovers in the first 3 minutes and 15 seconds to begin half 2. Reed around the perimeter. Hand off to Smith. Smith at the top of the key. Takes on Burnett 1-on-1. Smith shuffles towards his left off the dribble. Finds a solo ball. Ball dribbles up free throw circle. Outside Mullen. Sidestep to his right with a 3 off the rainbow. Off the rim. Short to rebound. Secured by Cadeau. Nobody can buy a bucket. Michigan with possession. Cadeau goes up. Cadeau attacking. Cadeau scoring. And the and one covered up at the free throw line by Elliot Cadeau. Everybody waiting for somebody to score. And Cadeau for Michigan increases the gap to a 6-point lead. That's just crushing for UConn. Trying to come on back in this game. And Cadeau just straight line dribble drive penetration on solo ball and solo ball to the bench with his 4th personal foul. Solo ball, 8 points, tied for the team leader alongside Caravan, but Ball now has got 4 fouls. Demery with 3. Some deep foul trouble for the Huskies right now. Michigan up by 7. Yeah, Mullins has had a tough game tonight from the perimeter. They're going to need production out of him. He's had a tough time getting off his shot tonight. 1 for 8 from the floor, 1 for 5 from 3 by Mullins. 7-point lead, some pressure defense in the backcourt. UConn able to cross the timeline. Jaden Ross. Hounded. And Michigan picks up the reach and fall. That's on Roddy Gale Jr. So Gale picks up the reach in. That's the first personal charge to Michigan in half 2. Michigan, their fans, 16 minutes away approximately from picking up their 2nd national title if they can hold off UConn. UConn off the inbound, just 1 for 5 shooting this half for the Huskies. Mullins out to the corner. Jaden Ross, his bounce pass broken up by Cadeau with a steal. They got numbers, 3-on-2 up the floor. Cadeau attacking. Cadeau no good. Putback chance missed by Marej Johnson of Michigan, and UConn controls the rebound with Terrace Reed. Nothing going on for the Huskies. 1 for 6 shooting. 8 turnovers in this game. Majority of turnovers in half number 2. Coming off the screen, Caravan. Caravan towards his right off the dribble. Drives down low. Blocked to the corner. Got the basketball back. Caravan pulls up from deep on the 3 off the mark. No good. Mullins with a putback scores. Up and off the window. They needed a bucket. They got one by the first year. Braylon Mullins. And we'll see if this does build confidence for him. He's got 5. Lenneborg backs his way, jump stop inside the key, tough shot, bounced in the and one, covered up on the free throw line by Yaxel Lenneborg. Confidence builder for him. Michigan with a response right back after the previous punch. Wow, that's a tough bucket. Turned around inside the key, bounced off the rim a couple times, able to drop in through the netting. Media timeout on the floor, 40-33. The fouls just keep on racking up for UConn tonight. That's on Terrace Reed. That's his 3rd personal. Foul trouble. Monstrous right now for UConn. 4 fouls by Solo Ball, 3 by Reed, 3 by Demery. It's those 3 guys who's in deep foul trouble, and that's a bad sign for Terrace Reed to pick up his 3rd. Yeah, 6 fouls by Michigan, 15 by UConn right now. Plus the turnovers piling up here at half 2 for UConn. This is not looking good for UConn. Lenneborg with 2, Cadeau's got 2, but Yaxel Lenneborg starting to make an impact all of a sudden. That previous basket with an and one coming up, and when your best player start to get into a momentum builder, this is dwindling the chances for UConn to come on back. Yeah, Huskies all of a sudden have gone stone cold. They just can't hit any shots from the perimeter. UConn started off 3 for 6 from 3 ever since. They're only 2 for 13 in their last 13 3-point shot attempts. Hey, what's good? Seagull in the stream, welcome in. Hope all is going well, man. If you guys are new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Even though this is the last night for college basketball, feel free to keep on coming back throughout the NBA playoffs. I'm hoping to be live. A lot of great NBA games coming up here for the next couple months, so feel free to keep on joining in. Carlos in the stream, welcome on board. Yeah, not so good right now for UConn. Yeah, huge putback a couple minutes ago by Mullins. That was massive there for UConn to get them in the right direction. Wow. Pistons secured a 1 seed. So they're probably just playing all reserves, bench guys, not their starters. Yeah, so Pistons secured a top seed. Magic, that helps them out. They're basically in a tie for 8th with the Hornets. Yeah, so we just came back, coming back to action right now. So media timeout just wrapped up, 15-16 left to go in the second half. Yaxel Lenneborg and the one coming up here at the line from Michigan. Yeah, UConn's in a dangerous spot now. 4 fouls in the first 4+ minutes of the second half. Michigan with 1. Big foul difference tonight. 15 personal fouls by UConn. Michigan with 6. Michigan with their largest lead in the night after the Lenneborg free throw. It's 41-33. UConn, oh goodness, turning over the basketball again. Malachi Smith lost it to right in front of Dan Hurley. And Dan Hurley can't believe it, got bumped into. That's now 5 turnovers in the last 8 possessions by the Huskies. Michigan with possession. They could put it away with a made 3. Cadeau, no good off the back rim. Long rebound out of the pack by Mullins. Up the floor, he finds Smith, goes up and scores the layup. That's huge for UConn. Gets it winning 6. That's a big difference right now in the game. If he makes that shot, it's 44-33. It's an 11-point game. And then you race up the floor to the other end. You cut it down to 6 with a made layup. That's a humongous rebound by Mullins off the long board up the floor, able to find Malachi Smith with that layup. That's major there. 11-point difference off the missed 3 by Cadeau to a 6-point difference. Long rebound made layup. Mara backs his way, pivots, working on Reed, brings along the double team, poke loose of the bounce off of UConn. It's going to stay Michigan ball. 14.5 left to go. Michigan at the baseline looking for the inbound. Cadeau, the inbound passer. Lobs it out to the perimeter. This sails all the way to the backcourt. Picked up by picked up by McKinney. That is number 1 for Michigan. McKinney, jumper, 15-footer, straight away, sticks it. Trey McKinney buries the J. Big-time bench points there for Michigan. McKinney with his first made bucket tonight. UConn with a basketball. Mullins towards his left around the perimeter. Handoff Malachi Smith. Dribbles towards his right. Takes on Roddy Gay on the outside. Off to Caravan. Off the up fake. Fires it left corner. Mullins launches the 3 off the mark. No good. Offensive rebound controlled by Reed. New 20 the timer for UConn. Baseline dribble. Mullins. Floater. Off the mark. Put back good by Caravan. Needed that for UConn. Back to a 6-point game. 13:45 left to go. UConn plus 4 in the offensive glass. 13-9. They lead second chance points 11-10. Elliot Cadeau slips the gap and lays it up and in with a right-hand finish. 8-point lead again for Michigan. Elliot Cadeau double figures. He's got 12. Malachi Smith at the wing. Had Caravan open. Caravan's calling for the ball right now as he looks to get open. He does at the top of the key. Well covered, though. Into the hands to Reed. Powers his way down low. Working on Mara inside the low post. Reed puts it up over Mara off the back rim. No good. A rebound secured by Lenneborg. Just a tough shot there by Tyrus Reed. Better off moving it along to his teammates. Adai Mara just a brick wall out there at 7'3". Ball fake. Open 3. Elliot Cadeau buries one from the outside. The whole crowd goes wild for Michigan. 48-37. That's the first made 3 of the night by the Wolverines. To the timeout taken in the floor by UConn. Elliot Cadeau showed up big time tonight. Former UNC Tar Heel finding his landing spot in Ann Arbor in a humongous difference maker right now. 15 points in 19 minutes by Cadeau, able to bury the first three of the game. Michigan just 1 for 11 from three, and nevertheless, they're up by 11. This Michigan team just an absolute wagon in this tournament. Struggling game for them offensively, but still finding ways to win. Do their defense. Powering the paint. Getting to the rim, and finally a three is able to drop. They're also 15 for 16 at the free throw line. 28-16 points in the paint from Michigan. Locking down UConn at just 33% shooting right now. Yeah, once Michigan crossed Thanksgiving, hand Michigan the championship. That's what it looked like right before Thanksgiving. This is what Michigan did to start off their season. After they played two close games in the first week against Wake Forest and TCU, they find their footing. November 24th, they destroy San Diego State 94-54. They crush Auburn 102-72 on November 25th. And then the day before Thanksgiving, they put up 101 and a 40-point win against number 12 ranked Gonzaga 101-61. After that, they beat Rutgers in their conference opener by 41. They beat Villanova 89-61. They crushed Maryland 101-83 in their second conference game. Beat USC to open up the new year by 30. Penn State played a close conference game with them. After that, a lot of closer games in the conference since teams were able to get a lot more film in this Michigan team and talk to other coaches around the conference on how to prep for this Michigan squad. Michigan, the second time around, they derailed Penn State 110-69. They went to Mackey. They beat Purdue by 11 at Purdue. They beat UCLA by 30. They beat Illinois at Illinois by 14. And then in the tournament, they've been just a buzzsaw, ripping down the competition, 101-80 over Howard. They tamed off a hot St. Louis team and cooled them off 95-72. I remember people were on the stream after St. Louis beat Georgia. People were asking me, could St. Louis upset Michigan? That's how hot St. Louis was in their first round matchup, and Michigan put a stop to that rather quickly. Michigan beat Alabama 90-77, and then last two games say it all for itself. Just Tennessee, shredded Tennessee, and what was coming into the game on paper, a heavyweight battle between the one seeds of Michigan and Arizona, turned out to be a lopsided 18-point win for Michigan. The largest beatdown of a one seed since UMBC Virginia back in 2018. This Michigan team this season special. And to be up by 11 right now, drilling just 1-3, that really just shows how great this team is built, especially in the inside for them. Usually the team identity is Michigan comes up with a humongous block there. Jaden Ross got clobbered going up, though, and followed. He's going to have free throws coming up here for UConn. Yeah, usually the identity of these teams recently that win the national championship, it's like a 7-foot-plus center on their team. Yeah, Donovan Clingan on the 2023-24 UConn teams. Florida, they had a 7-foot center on that team last year. Micah Hanlogden, he was 7'1". Alex Condit was 6'11". Yeah, 7'1" Micah Hanlogden. And then the 7'9" guy who transferred, he didn't play at all last year, so no impact. But in terms of impact players, 7-foot-plus players, they had one last year for Florida, and this Michigan team has one with Adai Mara at 7'3". Both free throws go by UConn, 48-39. Really going to have to be resiliency, adversity, overcoming that, and character here for UConn to make a comeback by double digits. UConn struggling mightily with turnovers. Michigan with possession, approaching the 12-minute mark left to go. And regulation, en route to their first championship since 1989. The second one is a program if they can hold off UConn. Cadeau attacks downhill to the paint, no good, blocked off the glass. He went crashing into the stanchion. UConn has numbers up the floor. Ross in the three, left it short off the mark. Michigan controls the rebound with McKinney. Flings it up the floor, 2-on-1. Cheddar attacks the rack, no good, missed the layup, and rebound controlled by Caravan. Both of these teams racing up the floor. UConn outnumbered. They're down on 3-on-2. A huge rejection on the bounce from Marez Johnson. It's a block city fest right now from Michigan. Media timeouts. 11:33 left to go. Michigan up by 9. Looking to hold off UConn to win their second national championship as a program. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Michigan now with 4 blocks as a team. 2 of those by Roddy Gale, a block each by Adai Mara, and Morez Johnson has one to add to his total tonight. UConn with just 2 blocks this game. Both of these teams have been the top shot blocking teams in the country for these two at the top of that list. Yeah, UConn is just stuck. UConn is absolutely stuck right now. If they can't bury a 3, it's going to get tough. UConn looked really good to begin this game. They were up early on. They were 3 for 6 from the perimeter. And all of a sudden, they just cannot get any good threes off with any good space. Braylon Mullen struggling tonight. 1 for 6 from the perimeter. Caravan started off a perfect 2 for 2. He's 0 for 5 ever since. And then the rest of the guys are bricking 3. Solo Ball's 2 for 4. But Malachi Smith 0 for 2. And then the missed 3 each by Tyrus Reed, Jaden Ross, Jalen Stewart. They started off 3 for 6 ever since they're 2 for 16 from 3-point range. They just cannot generate any quality looks out there. Yeah, this Michigan team, just so much size, so much strength, so much depth. And it's that depth right now that's starting to overpower UConn. Roddy Gale with 4. Trey McKinney with 2. But Cadeau came back into the game. 15 by Elliot Cadeau. Marez Johnson with 10. He's like an X-Factor guy. Really good player for Marez Johnson. Another energy guy just like Gale. Gale with a couple of those putbacks. Like these guys got guys who play with a passion. That play with fire in their belly for this Michigan team. Yeah, this is just like it's a bad matchup for Tyrus Reed. This is the guy who you need to go off, the guy who UConn's been relying upon to carry them through the tournament. It's just not a good matchup when Tyrus Reed is much smaller than the 7-foot guy, Adai Mara. And Tyrus Reed 6'10", Mara's 7'3". If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well. If you guys enjoy the NBA, feel free to join back in for the NBA playoffs coming up throughout the next couple months. So I'll still be covering these streams for you guys on the channel. UConn down by 9. They have the basketball coming back from the timeouts. Inbound goes to Jaden Ross. Handoff Mullins. Mullins inside the key. Shovels off to Reed. Back out to the corner. Mullins flings it to Tyrus Reed as he works on Marez Johnson. Pivots. Puts it a shot over. Johnson got it to go with a left-handed hook. That's a huge basket there by Tyrus Reed. Reed works his way up to 9. Cadeau shakes one defender, puts his chest right into Demery, missed the layup, bodies collide down low, Cadeau out of the play, UConn collects the basketball. UConn down by 7 with possession, approaching 11 minutes left to go. Demery, At the top of the key, he takes on Trey McKinney one-on-one. Dribbles towards his left, switch guarded by Marez Johnson on the outside. Towards his right, moves it off to Caravan. Caravan up on the grill, defended by Will Cheddar. Slides it off to Mullins. Mullins launches a three, off the rim, no good. Rebound, battle, tie up, as the referee goes down of two players tangled up off the tie-up. Hopefully that referee's okay. Silas Demery fighting for the basketball, tied up with Marez Johnson, and all the momentum of Demery pulled Johnson right back and beyond into the official at the baseline. Yeah, the official who went down, he is up. It's a great sign to see right there because you don't want to be short an official when it's already been a struggle with officiating in this game currently. 10:45 left to go. Michigan will get back to basketball, so Michigan won that tie-up possession arrow. Next tie-up will go to UConn. Michigan with the ball, up by 7. Mara at the top of the key, hand off to Lendenborg. Lendenborg defended by Jaden Ross, dribbles towards his right, switch guarded by Caravan on the outside. 14 on the timer. Lendenborg took the three, missed off the rim short, tipped up in the air. Gale to the wrong player out of the pack. Here goes UConn with it. Jalen Stewart back. Reverse layup, no good. Blocked off the backboard, off the mark, no good there by UConn. That was an incredible block just a moment ago by Lendenborg as Mara is able to get it away. Physicality ramping up. He wanted a foul call by UConn, couldn't get one. 5 blocks by Michigan, 2 by UConn. No good in the layup. Put back, shoved in by Marez Johnson. 50-41. Able to clean up the miss by McKinney. 9-point lead for Michigan. As we're under 10 minutes left to go in the timeout here, taken on the floor. Or no, beg my pardon, just a reach and foul. So no timeout stoppage here. So clock stoppage with 9:52. Yeah, Michigan picked up the reach. That's on Marez Johnson that starts, so no timeout. Inbound for UConn. UConn 4 personal fouls this half, Michigan with 3. UConn with possession. Jaden Ross lob to Towers Reed. Reed down by 9, needing his team to get right back into it. Reed working on Mara, slides it outside, up fake. Solo ball runner, no good off the back rim. A rebound ripped away by Gale. Tie up, possession arrow, UConn. $9:29 left to play. This game is getting really physical. These two teams realizing that they could be as physical as they want because there's no other games after this. If they lose an Armor League, we'll get it later. Inbound off the bounce pass underneath. Huge rejection by Marez Johnson as he stuffs Mullins at the rim. Ball out of the play as he tumbles down. Michigan with a 3 bricked off the back rim by Lendenborg. Lendenborg off the offensive rebounds. Lob goes to Marez Johnson. Marez Johnson, triple team, goes up, got stripped, lost. It's a turnover. UConn up the floor. Here goes Caravan attacking the rack, and he scores up and off the backboard. 7-point game that took all the energy out of his system, and he laid it up and in for Alex Caravan. He's got 12. Michigan with possession. Under 9 minutes left to go. Yaxel Lendenborg at the right wing. Dribbles towards his left. Takes the 3. That's an air ball out of bounds. It's going to be Huskies ball. UConn needs a bucket right here, right now to get their team back into it. It's a 3-possession game, down by 7. Chance to cut it to a 2-possession game if they bury this next shot. Huge possession here. 8:42 left to go. Alex Caravan, the only player with double figures now with 12. Heart of a champion, 2 national championships. If they come back and win this one, he'll be the first player outside of any player for UCLA to win 3 national championships in college basketball. Inbound goes to Demery in the backcourt. Down to 8:40 left to go. UConn with Demery, Stewart, Caravan, Mullins, and Reed, the 5 of the court. Caravan. Hand off to Silas Demery Jr. towards his right at the right wing. He takes on Roddy Gale at the top of the key. Reed, hand off to Demery. 12 of the timer, burst the speed, drives the cup, and he got the layup. It is good. They execute. It's a 5-point game. Michigan takes it up the floor. Michigan with 3 timeouts in their pocket. UConn with 2. Michigan's missed their last 7 out of 8 attempts from the court. Gale, spin cycle. Gale working on Caravan. Goes up. Blocked by Caravan. UConn with momentum. Here we go, folks. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up. Hit the like. Hit the subscribe. UConn with the ball. Top of the key, Silas Demery. Sends it off to Caravan at the wing. Caravan, his pass deflected up in the air, intercepted by Roddy Gale. They got numbers up the floor, 3-on-2, floats it up over the top, and Mara sends it home with a 2-handed flush. Getting on the rooftop there from Mara, 2 points off the steal for the Wolverines. Both of these teams with only 5 total assists tonight. UConn, those 10 turnovers, crushing them right now, as Michigan has just 6 turnovers this entire game. Demery, outside Caravan, sidestep to his right with a 3, left it off the rim, short save by Stewart. On the bounce went Stewart with a basketball. It's going to be Michigan ball coming up. TV timeout. 7:16 left to play. 7-point lead by Michigan as we have a timeout on the floor. Major breakdown offensively for UConn. Caravan's pass broke it up around the perimeter. Just so active defensively by Michigan, leading to the 2 points off the alley-oop slam by Mara. Mara. Up to now, 8 points in the game on 4 for 7 from the floor, 4 rebounds. Hasn't had a whole lot of points or rebounds, but the way that he impacts the box score, just so critical with his size and his length. Hey, what's good? Roy in the stream. Welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, if you guys would like to come on back for the NBA playoffs, feel free to do so. Even though college basketball ends tonight, I'll still be live throughout the course of the NBA playoffs. If you guys enjoy the NBA, keep on coming back for more. If you're new in the stream, keep on smashing the thumbs up. Helps out this video a ton, being found on YouTube. Yeah. Turnover's been a major crusher right now. 10 turnovers for the Huskies. Points off turnovers. Michigan's only scored 5. Those 2 previous, that was massive, though, how they get that alley-oop. Instead of 50-45, it's 52-45. Wow. Yeah, this game could be a little bit more closer, unfortunately. UConn struggling with those turnovers. Michigan, 1 for 14 from 3, nevertheless a 7-point lead. And UConn started off so well from 3. 3 for 6 from 3. Ever since, though, they're just 2 for 18 from the perimeter. A lot of tough shots they've been taking. Cody, welcome back in. Gonna have to dig deep coming up here. 7:17 left to go. Yeah, they're showing that 3-point shooting number. That was a massive 3 that Cadeau hit for the only 3 by Michigan back in the early stage of this half. Cadeau's got 15. Defensive rock fight of a battle. 15 by Cadeau, 12 by Marez Johnson. Johnson has 2 blocks, 9 rebounds on 5 for 7 shooting. Just seems like he's the hungriest guy on the floor. Yes, so that is my first name, Patel. We get back to action. 7:10 left to go in regulation. Elliot Cadeau towards his right off the dribble. Lob, cross court, off on the wrong page when Mara, as he flings it to the front row of the Michigan bench. That's a turnover. That's only the 7th turnover in a night there by Michigan, but that's a bad turnover coming back from the timeout. Had a wide open roller to the hoop with a dime Mara, and instead, he just completely flung it over the top there out of bounds. Here we go. UConn down by 7, looking to make the push here. Huskies with possession. Top of the key with Demery. He's on the floor alongside Mullins, Caravan, Reed, and Stewart. Bounce pass finds Reed. Reed inside the key. Off to the corner to Stewart, and Michigan picks up the reach-in foul. So that will stop the clock. 6:47 left to go. Both teams with 4 personal fouls in this half. Yeah, I agree, Paul, that it's like all over the map for like live games and stuff like that. I actually don't have Amazon Prime, so I can't see the NBA play-in coverage for coming up in a few weeks. Missed shot there by Reed. He had a good chance off the pivot, just couldn't make it. Michigan attacking down low to the cup, soaring up, and they will draw the shooting foul. 2 shots here coming up at the free throw line by Trey McKinney from Michigan. Yeah, it's kind of odd how CBS and TBS trade off in coverage year after year. So this year it's on TBS, next year it's on CBS. It's been like that for the last decade plus. But over in the NBA, Amazon Prime, they came into the mix this year, and they're the official media rights partner for the whole play-in game coverage this year. First free throw is good by Trey McKinney from Michigan. Trey McKinney tonight with 3. Second shot at the free throw line by McKinney, and that is good. 54-45, 6.5 left to go. Solo ball picked up the previous foul. That was his 4th. So 4 fouls by Ball, 3 each by Demery and Reed for UConn, and some heavy foul trouble tonight. Michigan on just championship level basketball at the free throw line. When they've gotten those opportunities, they are 17 for 18 at the free throw line. Caravan slides it off to his right. UConn needing a 3, no good. Around the road out, they missed it. Offensive rebound back to Mullins. Caravan up fake. Caravan drives. Caravan inside the key, off the glass, no good. But he drew the shooting foul. 2 shots here coming up at the free throw line for Alex Caravan for UConn. Down to 6:04 left to play. Caravan, that senior leadership, final game of his collegiate career, doing whatever it takes tonight to get his team into a closer margin right now than just a 9-point deficit. Alex Caravan in career game number 150, playing at UConn with 2 free throws. He is the team leader with 12, and the first free throw he missed. That's a crusher. Yeah, some missed free throws tonight for UConn. Points off the board. That's just a crusher. You don't see Caravan too often miss free throws. This Michigan team's just physically imposing. Second free throw is missed. Reed, the offensive rebound. Demery at the low block. Off to Reed. Handoff Silas Demery. He takes the 3 off the back rim. No good. Rebound secured by Burnett. Michigan holding on to a 9-point lead under 6 minutes left to go. Entry pass lob. Let it board. Goes up and scores. Up and off the window. Back to an 11-point lead. Getting really tough right now for UConn. Looks like they're physically gassed against this Michigan team. UConn is 0 for 13 from the perimeter in their last 13 3-point shot attempts. Demery slides it off to Mullins. Comes off the screen. Takes the 3. And he drills it. Humongous 3 by Braylon Mullins gives his team a sign of hope. 5:21 left to go. It ain't over till it's over. That's a huge 3. And we're going to have a timeout here taken on the floor as well. 5:21 remaining. Braylon Mullins was looking for one. He got one. That's his second made 3 tonight. On a tough shooting night for him, just 8 points on 3 for 15 shooting, 2 for 8 from 3. The hero that got them there to get past the big boy Duke in the Elite Eights. That's a confidence builder. Dan Hurley just burned a timeout. They're down to one timeout left for UConn. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Huge momentum builder for the Huskies as they try to work their way back into this game. Michigan just so physically imposing on UConn tonight with their size, their length. Points in the paint been a major difference maker. 34-22 for Michigan, points in the paint. UConn's down to one timeout. Michigan has 3 remaining for timeouts. Both teams with 5 personal fouls. So both teams with 5 personal fouls in the second half. At the back end of that play, there were players that got tangled up here at the back end of this play. Elliot Cadeau shoved Silas Demery Jr. down to the hardwood at the back end of this play. And that was after Braylon Mullins buried the 3. So Braylon Mullins buried the 3. And then Cadeau at the back end of that play shoved Demery from behind. And this is being looked at right now at the monitor. This could very well stay UConn basketball off an inbound. So if this indeed was end of play foul, this would be UConn basketball too, off the inbound. So this is a critical call right now by the referees, depending on where that foul happened in the process. 5:21 left to go. Wow. So it's going to be Michigan ball. Wow. Yeah, Michigan got away with one there. That's critical. The refs have not helped out the Huskies all night long. Refs have just not helped out UConn. Runner, Lenneborg off the back rim twice, no good. Tap-in is there. 58-48, 10-point lead for Michigan. Down to 5 minutes left to go. 11 points by Yaxel Lenneborg. Got out to a slow start tonight. Starting to find his way, though. A lot of time coming off the clock here for UConn. Demery. Off to his left to Jaden Ross. Got to do something here. 14 in the shot clock. Caravan. Cross court off the skip pass. Mullins fires a 3. He buries another triple. Mullins start to wake up here for the Huskies. 11 points all of a sudden for Braylon Mullins off back-to-back 3s, finding his stroke. Top of the key with Mara. Mara towards his right off the dribble. Hand off Cadeau. That previous timeout before the last one was a media timeout. That happens. Lenneborg. Attack in the lane. Fouled. And he'll have shots here coming up at the free throw line with 4:13 left. Braylon Mullins starting to make this game interesting with some perimeter shot making, but Michigan just keeps on grinding out these possessions inside the low post. That's now 6 fouls this half charged to UConn. Next foul will put Michigan into the bonus. Lenneborg, 82% free throw shooter, buries the first one. Next stream, I'm not sure. Sometime in the playoffs, probably. So I will not be live for the remaining part of this week. I have 15 games, 3 days for Collegiate Water Polo Championships for D3 coming up this weekend. So no streams remaining part of this weekend. Going to focus on prepping on that. From what I heard is that the play-in tournament games are on Amazon Prime. I do not have Amazon Prime. And I'm going away on vacation around April 18th for the first round of the playoffs. So if I bring my equipment up to the hotel, it's probably going to be at night, whatever the teams are on April 18th. I've done that the last couple of years. So I've done Lakers T-Wolves. I think last year was the night game, which is probably going to be the Lakers in that first night, probably. UConn's heading to the free throw line here. Yeah, if you guys don't see me streaming an early Celtics stream or so for like the first day or two for the playoffs, don't get concerned or so. I'm on vacation for the first couple of days of April, that weekend, April 18, 19, 20. So it all depends on, like, when I get to the hotel, which we're doing stuff all throughout the course of the day on that Sunday. So once we get back to the hotel, it's late at night. I think that's what happened last year, because I was in Quechee last year up in Vermont. And we were going from Burlington to White River Junction. Celtics got a 3:30 game and Sunday afternoon against the Magic for their first game. It was, I think I did Lakers T-Wolves. I did that on the Saturday night, because they always get Saturday prime time. $60-51. We're down to 3:48 left to go. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the whole, like, 2 million gazillion different streaming networks that they're doing nowadays for professional sports, NBA, NFL. Like, it's got to be the whole, like, media rights deal just completely gouging the consumer. Like, things are tough as it is for a lot of people just to get by life. Like, now the gas prices are like $3.99 plus a gallon to gas up in the last month. And so, like, everything's gone up. And then it's all about corporate greed and stuff with these big media companies, with all this new media rights deal for the NBA, the NFL, when you need all these subscriptions. Like, the Celtics played 7 times on Amazon Prime. I'm not going to get Amazon Prime to stream the Celtics 7 times when they're all spread out. And plus, I had a lot of college games in the nights that they had Amazon Prime, so I couldn't stream those games anyway. So the only dates that I were available for, like, 3 of those dates, which actually one of those dates they put on the regional channel NBC Sports Boston, so I just streamed it that way, since it was on Prime but also on NBC Sports Boston, the regional network. So it was only like I was missing 2 games throughout the season. Yeah, it's just crazy with the whole corporate greed and stuff like that that's gone on nowadays. It's too bad, because if you're a fan of those teams and you want to watch those games and you can't get them, and you're outside the regional area, like if you're a Patriots fan and you want to get this Thursday night game on Amazon Prime, but you can't do so, and you're outside the regional area, then you can't get it. Like, luckily, I'm a Patriots fan from Massachusetts, and it got covered by, I think it was Channel 25 in Boston, which luckily I live in the range to get it via antenna. So I was able to get that game for the Thursday night Patriots-Jets. Terrace Reed, first free throw is good at the line. 3:48 left to go. I don't think so. Yeah, I never show any of my TV due to copyright. So I don't think the trophy presentation can be shown. Anything that is on the TV screen can't be shown, because the media rights for the production belong to the companies who own it for this network. So that's why people can't get away with copyright, because it belongs to TBS and the network, Turner Networks, that do the broadcast, and it's the whole production. So it's not just the game; it's the whole entire production that would be affected. 60-53. Inbound to the backcourt for Michigan. They cross midcourt. McKinney at the right wing. Under 3.5 left to go. Dribbles up inside the key. Working on Ross. Follow a shot left is short. Caravan comes away with the basketball. UConn with possession. Down by 7. Caravan on the floor alongside Demery, Mullins, Reed, and Jaden Ross, the 5th player on the court. UConn at the top of the key. Silas Demery towards his right off the dribble, approaching the 3-minute mark left to go. Takes on Lenneborg, far side corner. Demery, and we got an offensive foul charged to Tarris Reed. Turnover by UConn. Dan Hurley takes off his glasses. He cannot believe it. He's signaling challenge. He didn't get the challenge. It's Michigan possession. UConn right now unraveling. They're going to need a stop. Cadeau, far side of the floor. 7 turnovers in the second half. And things are getting worse for UConn as UConn picks up the reach and foul. Michigan in the bonus. That's the 8th personal foul charge to UConn. Reach and fall charge to Silas Demery, knocking down Cadeau off the dribble. Free throws coming up, 1-and-1 bonus for Michigan. Man, I am really interested to see what type of words come out of Dan Hurley's mouth after this game in his post-game press conference. Because these referees tonight did not give his team a chance. First free throw is good by Cadeau. Huge discrepancy in fouls and free throws tonight. 19 personal fouls by UConn, 11 by Michigan, 21 for 22 by Michigan. You got to tip your cap off to that free throw shooting, though. Second free throw is good. If Michigan shoots the ball like UCF did in their first round matchup, then UConn would have won this game. 9-point game. Huskies needing something quickly. Top of the key. Silas Demery at the right wing as he takes on Roddy Gale. Demery finds Caravan, comes up the screen, pops up for the 3. He sizzles the triple. 6-point game, 62-56. Inbound Michigan in the backcourt. Michigan with Roddy Gale. Crosses the timeline. In a 6-point game as he is defended by Mullins around the perimeter. Pasca broke it up, intercepted by Tarris Reed, shovels it down low, no good, they missed the layup, it goes right back over to Michigan. Wolverines with possession. Down low, kick out to the corner. Gale dribbles inside, push pass outside, McKinney, step back 3, he buries it. Trey McKinney, big time shot there from the perimeter by Michigan. They can smell it. They can taste it. 1:49 left to go. That's a huge 3. Trey McKinney, bench points there off the step back as we get a timeout here on the floor. Wow, that just took completely all the momentum away from UConn that they were trying to make their last push. Huge 3 right there by Trey McKinney. Yeah, I think that right there very well could have iced this game. Trey McKinney, 7 points off the bench for him. His first made 3 tonight. It's only the second made 3 of the game for Michigan. They're 2 for 15 from the perimeter. 13% despite that, a 9-point lead. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Humongous step back 3 by Trey McKinney. And they are a minute 49 away from their second ever national championship as a program, the first one since 1989. 1 challenge remaining for both sides. 8 fouls committed by UConn, 6 by Michigan. Yeah, that looked like very well it's going to be the dagger. Inbound here for UConn. Demery off the screen set by Reed at the left wing. Slides it on top. Caravan working on Lenneborg on the outside. Into the hands to Solo Ball. Solo Ball, 8 in the timer. Takes a contested 3 off the back rim. No good. Caravan goes up. Got stripped. No call. Tarris Reed came away with the basketball. And then he went up and was fouled. 2 shots here coming up by Reed at the line. 1:23 left to go. Tarris Reed only a 61% free throw shooter. UConn's missed 4 free throws as well. First shot bounced in. That's good. (65-57). Yeah, UConn's going to have to go with full court pressure here. Hope for a quick turnover. Second free throw is good. 7-point game, minute 23 remaining. Jalen Stewart's going to check in as Tarris Reed's going to take a seat on the bench now. Yeah, those 4 free throws critical. And what's a 7-point game? As UConn goes with a full court pressure defense in the backcourt, Lenneborg sends it past the timeline off to Roddy Gale. Roddy Gale puts it into the hands to Cadeau. 1:10 left to go. 15 on the shot clock for Michigan. And UConn guilty party, Jalen Stewart. That's Silas Demery. Silas Demery picks up a foul, and he is just fouled out of this game. Silas Demery Jr. just fouled out of this game, just picked up his 5th personal foul, reaching in. And this puts Michigan back in a 1-1 bonus. One and one bonus for Elliot Cadeau, 69.4% free throw shooter. UConn with 1 timeout left. Michigan's got 2. And the free throw is good by Cadeau. Yeah, the previous one that hit that after the 3 was hit by McKinney, that was a timeout by Michigan. Second free throw is good. Yeah, Michigan, interestingly, took that timeout when they had a bunch of momentum with that very well could have been dagger 3. Down to the final minute left to play. UConn with possession. Trailing by 9 once again. Malachi Smith at the top. Slides it outside. Mullins, corner 3, no good off the mark. Rebounds Michigan, but there was a push here off the back, and that's on Michigan with the foul. So UConn's going to have bonus free throws. A lot of jostling for position going on there. And this is going to send the Caravan to the free throw line shooting 2. So Michigan off the over the back. It's going to be 1-1 bonus here by Caravan. At the line, got the first one. Second free throw is good. (67-60). 53.5 seconds left to go. Michigan pressure in the backcourt. Michigan lost the basketball to get a player here hitting the deck. We get a tie-up here on the floor. Possession arrow stays Michigan off the tie-up. Oh, that is critical, that possession arrow staying with Michigan. Michigan got a lot of possession arrow tie-ups going in their favor tonight. Trey McKinney tried to dribble through a double team, stumbled, and there were 3 UConn defenders waiting for him off that tie. 48.8 seconds left to go, and Michigan will burn a timeout. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Emmy, thanks for joining in. Hit us up in the chat who you guys got here, Michigan or UConn. UConn needing to force a quick turnover coming up out of the timeout. Yeah, they had the right idea there. They forced the tie, but they just didn't have the possession arrow in their favor. 1 timeout for both sides now. 9 fouls charged to UConn, 8 by Michigan. Both teams with a challenge each. Dan Hurley, he was signaling he thought it was a travel committed by Trey McKinney of Michigan. Near side, backcourt, Elliot Cadeau will be the inbound passer. Michigan up by 7 with possession off this inbound. Looking for an inbound passer. He move it off to Lenneborg off his fingertips as he goes back, flings it up in the air, goes off the back of the backboard. It's a turnover. Out of control with a basketball there, Cadeau. Hide away off the top corner to fingertips. So Lenneborg had to rush all the way to the backcourt and try to fling one up in the air that sailed off the back of the backboard. Turnover, Michigan. Gives us signs of hope to UConn here. UConn underneath their hoop, looking for the inbound. 45 seconds left to go. UConn needing a miracle. Just like they did against Duke. It ain't over till it's over. Malachi Smith, he thought that he was going to be the inbound passer. UConn changing inbounders to solo ball. Solo ball inbound pass, moves it off to Mullins, top of the key. Needing a bucket quickly here for UConn. Mullins at the wing. Outside ball. Ball rises and fires at the jumper. Open up the bank right there. Cha-ching. It is good by Solo Ball. It's a 3. Cash money. Off the backboard and in for Solo. 4-point game. It ain't over till it's over. What a game. Dan Hurley, the UConn Huskies. No quit mentality. Solo Ball, open up the bank. Double figures for Ball. He has got 10. 17 by Caravan, 13 points, 14 rebounds for Reed. Caravan double-double, 17 and 11. 11 points. 6 rebounds by Braylon Mullins. It's a huge 3 by Solo Ball. $37 seconds left to go. Solo Ball. They're looking at it to make sure both feet behind the 3-point line. That clearly looks like there's space. So yeah, this should definitely be a 3. Referees are looking at it at the monitor currently. Yeah, that right front foot is behind the 3-point line by Solo Ball. That's not a Kevin Durant shot against the Bucks. Yeah, that's behind the 3-point line. That's clearly behind the 3-point line. Bank is open indeed. Make sure to cash it in. Cha-ching. Money by Solo Ball. Difference maker in this game. Missed free throws for UConn. 12 for 16. Missing 4 shots at the charity stripe. That's critical right now. Yeah, that's clearly a 3. Could clearly see space between the perimeter and where he went into the 3. Yep, that's a 3. It's been confirmed. Michigan in their backcourt. No look to cleanly inbound it this time. They go 5 out off their formation. Inbound to the backcourt off to McKinney. Flings it off to Cadeau. He's pressured. Gets it past the timeline. Into the hands to Roddy Gale. Gale gets double teamed and Gale is fouled with 29.5 seconds left. And that's now the 10th personal foul charged to UConn. So this puts Michigan now in the double bonus. .3% free throw shooter for Roddy Gale Jr. at the line, shooting 2. 29.9 seconds remaining. 2 shots here by Michigan by Gale. First free throw is around and out. No good. This game's getting interesting, doesn't it? Michigan was 23 of 24 at the free throw line as a team until that missed free throw. UConn tonight, 12 for 16 at the charity stripe. Second critical free throw here coming up by Roddy Gale. 9-second differential shot clock and game clock. Gale, number 2, around the rim and out, tipped up in the air. Mullins controls the defensive rebound. UConn with a basketball as Michigan went empty at the free throw line. At the right wing, Malachi Smith Smith, 20 seconds left to go. Shot clock turned off. They go to Caravan. Caravan on a three. Missed off the rim. Short rebound, Michigan. Michigan onto the pack as they will draw the foul with 13 seconds left. And back to the free throw line will go the Wolverines with Trey McKinney. Dan Hurley signaling challenge. He thought that UConn tied up Michigan with McKinney. Referees roll it. A foul charge to UConn on the floor with free throws coming up, 2 of them in the double bonus. Wow. Tarris Reed came right in submerging to force that tie up there, but the referees rolled it. Foul UConn. Refs ruled it. Reach and fall charge to UConn. That was on Malachi Smith. Reed was right next to Smith, trying to force the tie-up, but the referees ruled the foul on Smith. Reaching in. Malachi Smith reached in from behind. Yeah, Malachi Smith reaching in from behind. UConn appeal. UConn's challenging this call right now on the floor. Critical challenge. Yeah, a lot of contact from behind there by Malachi Smith, and then Tarris Reed came in to eventually force the tie-up. But if that was a late foul. That was a late foul call by the officials. Very late foul call. There was contact from the backside, reaching in by Smith. That wasn't called for an additional 2 seconds. As Smith backed off, and then Reed came in on the tie-up. Like, where's the foul call? Right there, because it wasn't there for the first 2 seconds. Refs need to be consistent. They haven't been consistent with anything tonight. National championship game. Who hired this refereeing crew? Like, what has this officiating been tonight? This has been just pathetic that they got this crew for referees. And the call stands. That foul call should have been made 2 seconds prior to when the whistle was blown. If that's what it was on. Because there was contact from the backside by Smith, and then 2 seconds later, Reed came in and tied up McKinney. But they didn't call it until Reed tied up McKinney, and he ruled it reach and fall charge to Smith. 89% free throw shooter at the line. First one is good by Trey McKinney. Michigan on their verge of their first ever national championship since 1989, the second national title in program history. 68-63, 13 seconds left, one more free throw by Michigan at the line in a double bonus with Trey McKinney. He buries it. 6-point lead Michigan. Michigan, a buzzsaw, ripping through the tournament this season, destroying the competition. Here goes UConn. Final seconds, no good off the mark. Miss layup, backdoor by Malachi Smith. Ball flung down the floor. Caravan collects it. Final seconds left to go. At midcourt, they get a shot. They didn't get it off in time, and this game is over. 69-63. Congratulations to the Michigan Wolverines, the 2026 NCAA Tournament Division I Men's Basketball National Champions. First ever NCAA Tournament Championship since 1989. Second one in program history. This Michigan team this year, big time. Blowing the doors out teams left and right for Michigan. Michigan back in November. You could have gave them the trophy all the way back right before Thanksgiving. This is what they did Thanksgiving break. And they put the whole nation on notice. W over San Diego State. 94-54, November 24th. Next day, win over Auburn, 102-72. The day before Thanksgiving, 40-point win against Gonzaga, 101-61. That turned a bunch of heads right there for a gigantic week. And a week of Thanksgiving. And then the week coming out of Easter. They win the national title. This Michigan team, just so deep, so big, Dusty May, second season as a head coach. 2 years ago, this program was run down to the ground. They were 8-24. Their previous head coach was beating up the Wisconsin coach, pounding him after the postgame. And then Dusty May comes in after leading Florida Atlantic to back-to-back NCAA tournaments, took FAU to the Final Four in 2023. New head coach at Michigan, year 2 with the program, national champion. Just an incredible story for this Michigan Wolverines team. Yaxel Lenneborg, 1 year ago, UAB, led the nation in double-doubles for Yaxel Lenneborg. Transfers to Michigan. Elliot Cadeau, 19 points tonight. The game leader, former UNC Tar Heel, transfers in the offseason from North Carolina to Michigan. Had a double-double points and assists in the Final Four. Tonight, game leader with 19 points. Marez Johnson, 12 points. Physical. Double-double for him with 10 rebounds. Really set the tone tonight. They got Roddy Gale, an energy-building guy, off the bench who had a putback poster dunk at one point in this game for Michigan. Marez Johnson was a transfer from Illinois. The guy who went off the previous game, Adai Mara from Spain, he's 7'3". He barely played at UCLA. And then he comes over to Michigan, drops down 26 points in the Final Four, career high. Tonight, might not show up in the stat sheet. He did have 8 points and 4 rebounds, but he was altering shots left and right tonight for Adai Mara, making UConn have a ton of difficulty inside the paint trying to score on him. Made Tarris Reed just a nightmare matchup. Reed just 4 for 12 in this game. Namari Burnett was another transfer. He came from Texas Tech. The entire starting 5 was all transfers by Michigan. And then Trey McKinney had that step-back 3, basically to ice the game with just over a minute left to go. 9 points, 8 rebounds, free throws at the line. He buried all 4 of his free throws tonight for McKinney when the game got down to the final minutes. And, man, this Michigan Wolverines team, just something special this year. Big shout out to Alex Caravan. Didn't work out his way tonight, but he did lead UConn in total team points, 17 points, 11 assists. And yeah, I would love to see Caravan. I hope he's... I really hope that he can go to the NBA for him and be a role player in the NBA. But I talked about it during the Duke stream. I really think that Alex Caravan could fit really well as being a head coach in the future. And Dan Hurley talked about Alex Caravan being like his basketball IQ is just off the charts. How incredible his basketball IQ is, how high it is, that it's basically having like an assistant coach playing on the floor with Alex Caravan. And I would love to see him someday be a head coach and develop talent just like Dan Hurley's developing players, winning championships, and hopefully down the line, like 15, 20, 30 years from now, Alex Caravan will be somewhere coaching that team in the tournament, and we'll remember him down the line for what he did throughout his career at UConn, his 4 seasons. 150 career games, 2 national championships, 3 national championship game appearances in 4 years for Caravan. I mean, not too many players can put that on their resume there. Didn't go his way tonight, but that young man, keep up his head for the rest of his career. Outside of college, past graduation, because, man, he really helped guide the program for UConn to be where it is with these national championships. And it just didn't go their way today, but the comeback against Duke, that pass that led to the Mullins 3, like that was all him for that decision. He could have jacked that up and could have forced up a contested 3 and waited for whatever to happen. Whatever happens, if it rims out, it goes in, be the hero or not. But instead made that extra pass, and Mullins was able to step into it and get his team to the championship game tonight in the first place, needing that miracle to get past Duke. Yeah, Tarris Reed tonight, 13 points, 14 rebounds, double-double for him. I mean, keep his head up high too. Didn't happen tonight for UConn, but that's the guy that got him there in the first place. You Look at what he did in the first round, 31-27 against Furman. Like, he got them there in the first place. They looked like at times they were dead water against Furman, like not even coming out of that first round matchup. So yeah, for the large part, it was a miracle that this UConn team made it to the national championship tonight. But congratulations out to Michigan. 3 guys double figures. Elliot Cadeau, game high 19, set the tone early. Scored a couple quick buckets in the first couple minutes. Marez Johnson, double-double, 12 and 10. Yaxel Lenneborg playing on an injured MCL sprain and finishes with 13, the number 2 scorer on the team, and able to do enough to get the job done tonight for the Michigan Wolverines. Congratulations out to Michigan. Thanks all for joining an incredible season for college basketball action. If you're fans of the NBA, the streams aren't done after tonight. Feel free to come on back for my NBA streams. I cover the NBA, so feel free to keep on coming back for the NBA playoffs coming up throughout the next couple months. If you guys enjoy the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell before I sign off tonight. And what a season it was for college basketball. This Michigan Wolverines team, they put up 90 points or greater in their first 5 games of the tournament, destroyed Arizona, another 1 seed in the Final Four. And tonight, they didn't shoot the ball well, but 2 for 15 from 3. It didn't matter. They packed the paint. They grinded it out down low, and they outscored UConn in the points in the paint battle, 36-22. To end up winning this game and lock down the Huskies to just 31% from the floor. Thanks all for joining in tonight. Congratulations out to Michigan, second national champion as a program and the first national championship since 1989. Big ups to the Big Ten. Best conference in college basketball this year, putting Illinois and Michigan in the Final Four. Michigan, the champion, and Big Ten getting their first ever national champion in 26 years. It snaps a 26-year streak since 2000, since the last time a team won the national championship out of the Big Ten. Congratulations to Dusty May, first ever national championship as head coach, and 3 years ago he was in the Final Four with FAU for Florida Atlantic. Just an incredible story for this Michigan Wolverines team. 2 seasons under head coach Dusty May, an incredible turnaround, building a roster completely out of the transfer portal for an entire starting 5, and taking a program which was 2 years ago at 8-24 to getting hired, and then year 2, national champions in 2026. Thanks for joining in, everybody. Appreciate you for being a part of the stream, and we will close out to the channel members. All channel members get a shout out at the end of each and every single one of my live streams. We got Jason, John, Michael Bradley, Joe, Lonely Satellite, Warren, the Naja Player, Norma Kelly, Okie Russell, Rydog, Astros Fan for Life, All on the Prowl, I Am Ghost, Ian, Edith, SGA Sports Talk, Elaine, Kilo Pitts, and Yvonne. Thanks for joining in, and feel free to keep on coming back. The streams don't stop after this, as I'll be streaming the games throughout the NBA playoffs, so keep on coming back, keep on subscribing, keep on ringing the notification bell to be notified for future live streams coming up in the future. Elliot Cadeau led the way, 19 points from Michigan, set the tone early. A really good game out of him tonight. Marez Johnson finished with a double-double, 12 points, 10 rebounds, made things difficult for for UConn to operate offensively in this game. Yaxel Lenneborg finished with 13 in this one, as they had 3 guys in double figures for the Wolverines, led by Cadeau's 19. Thanks for joining in, everybody. Congratulations out to Dusty May and the Michigan Wolverines, their 2026 national champions. Hope to see you guys soon, and enjoy the rest of your Monday night.